ICM or like a lot of the decks is gonna just raise the very good ones. Let's say king queen and queen jack maybe. So he doesn't need to. He can't actually raise too many bluff hands. So this hand could be a raise and a call, and maybe here he decides to only call because of the ICM situation, and it turns out very good card. I'm surprised he checked that fast because it would make sense to dump there, and now maybe he's like capable of doing anything here. I wouldn't be surprised if he finds like an 800 or something like that.
Wow, I mean, talk about a heater. B binder he's gonna check the river, but gets a clean one out. Pascal actually improves, but even on the turn, I mean, he has the 6, right? He's blocking 5-6. He has a queen, but he finds a way with a very modest hand. Not even maybe most players would open to get some extreme value out of a weak top pair. Another kind of everything working.
Everything's working. He won a very big pot there with like as you said, the ball of his range. And Pascal had enough shot of value. I mean, here we are like wondering what he's gonna do, what he can do. But I think his play was like really fine. He had the odds all the way to make this play, and it's for sure a nice hand for him. I wonder if he like leading third wouldn't be a thing, but maybe he did think he had enough shut up over there.
What a crazy show that started out with an absolutely big hand. What an epic spot, epic time, and we are going to see a very interesting show play out here today. Is Pascal? I mean, I'll tell you what. Coco Bongo Reg covers, and he's got that very spicy ace-5 suited. One of the favorites to 4-bet jam. He covers, or he does it, and it's going to work. And this is one of the benefits of doing that. They say, we saw an example to start in the highlight hand, right, with the ace-4 suited, getting and realizing equity. But the big part of that hand, what's so nice is you just get folds a lot of the time, which is the reason why. And if you have backup, you do get called. So very interesting. And right into a mystery hand. The team is coming out with heat early. Kelvin, you're here. You're the poker millionaire star of the show tomorrow, and walk us through this one. 7-9 off call and flop mid pair. GTO Wizard gonna add assistance, but so far so good. Checking over to Pascal.
Okay, bet small, bet large. He did open with 20 big blinds. I think he might have a few open jams. There's a chance he won't open jam, I think, but maybe he does. Like I had like king jack suited, something like that. He goes for the bet small. So far, nothing crazy. But has a clean decision here. He just wants to call and see the turn. Of course, it's gonna something different is gonna happen, right? It's not gonna be a standard hand. So I guess Barak has all the incentive in the world to lead. I wonder because maybe Barak would have check raised a lot of flush draws because a lot of flush draws of his range has like extra equity. Let's say King 4 of diamonds has an overcard. Ace X of diamonds he has an overcard. 8-7 of diamonds has a gut shot. So maybe he doesn't have as many flush draws as he usually would have. But still, the pairing 9 is very good. And he went for this size. Okay, so he thinks going all in is not good. He thinks it's an overplay. I guess he wants to leave the door open.
I mean, does Pascal, like it says go all in? How much? Let me talk about the ace, a diamond blocker here when the board's paired. Can you explain? Is that how much does that change in the sense where is that not even a thing? So is he just does he just have the boat here? Like what does he have for bluffs, Pascal?
He has to be a hand like ace of diamonds. That's the enclave. I ran out A sometimes. Um, but he had the flush, okay? But like, yeah, the blood has to come from this area, and you have to jump all flushes there. You have to jump all flushes there.
Really? All
Um,
the way from the carried forward, what, with the size and just the staff and your like. Tell me, that's interesting. Tell me more about that.
yeah, because Barak is never has a boat, never, ever. Because what boat can he have? 94. Like I don't think he's no 97 is not a boat.
No, I'm sorry. What you're asking is what is
I spoke yesterday with Vice President J.D. Vance. He called me from his plane on the way back from Washington. He reported to me in detail, as the people of this administration do every day, on the development of the negotiations.
Benjamin Netanyahu says the Trump administration reports directly to him. Is that kidding?
Is that no magazine?
And that's how you know that all the worst accusations in the Epstein files are true. We invaded Iraq with less evidence of guilt in this.
That's right, we did. You know, when great reporters like the Megan Cases and the Matthew Beavies come out and they go, well, with the proof, well, you don't have the proof for this. We invaded Iraq we invaded Iran with us, Biff. We invaded Iran solely on the word of this great man right here.
That's right. Netanyahu says J.D. Vance reported every single detail of the peace talks to him. He reported to me in detail as a member of the administration, as members of the administration do every day. So Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance, well, at least now we know what the J stands for.
Genius.
So here's Netanyahu. Let's listen.
I spoke yesterday with Vice President J.D. Vance. He called me.
So this is an AI translation because apparently I like how Bibi says because he speaks in Hebrew, like no one will ever translate it to English.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Boy.
Here we go.
I spoke yesterday with Vice President J.D. Vance. He called me from his plane on the way back from Washington. He reported to me in detail, as the people of this administration do every day, on the development of the negotiations. In this case, the explosion in the negotiations. The explosion came from the American side, which was not willing to tolerate the blatant violation of the agreement to enter negotiations by Iran. Essentially, the agreement was that there would be a ceasefire and Iran would immediately open the crossings. They didn't do that. The Americans were not willing to accept it. He also conveyed to me that the central issue on the table from the perspective of President Trump and the United States is the removal of all enriched material and ensuring that there is no more enrichment in the coming years, and this could be for decades.
Who knows what America cares about?
First of all, I think it's fun how Netanyahu pretends J.D. Vance is briefing him on the U.S. position when Netanyahu is actually the one dictating the White House what the position is. That's it. And I also like, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I really enjoy his new amiable college kid voice. How about you? It beats the campy, booming Bond-villain voice he usually goes with, right?
I like when him and his wife show up to the White House every time they show up and see how far they look. They're like, you
go wash the shit out of my underwear.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's him saying that they report to me. They keep me up. But it is funny.
If there's a civil war, they'll be happy with that too, because we're in the same boat. And the other of us, do you think they look at you in America as not the way they look at Muslims? Because I promise you
they do. Well, they set it up to make Muslims and Christians are much closer together ideologically than the Jewish religion because they don't recognize Jesus. Muslims do. They even have murals to Mother Mary. And
it's closer, even if it's not the same. The point is, and I'm not saying who's right if you gotta like Jesus, but clearly these are not compatible. If one's like this is the God in flesh, and there's like we think it's not, and he was a fraud. It seems like those are opposed religions, even that could live together. But why would they be like aligned against another one? Why would that be a thing?
The Zionist big idea was to get us to hate Muslims. It worked for a lot of people. not the majority of people, but it's
But
worked
I'm a
out.
little angrier at Muhammad, I gotta be honest, than Muhammad. Muhammad's upsetting me more now. That's not my fault. That's Israel's fault.
So here's Matt. Here's Matt. Not Matt Taibbi. Here's Max Blumenthal, and he's going to tell you how this whole war got started. Right? Listen to this.
February 11th meeting, Glenn, that you mentioned that the New York Times revealed, we all knew something like this was taking place because Netanyahu was in town at that time. Highways were being shut down. He was given presidential level security. And then he storms into a situation room meeting, which is highly unusual for any foreign leader. And he sits at the head of the table while Trump sits to the side. And he dictates to Trump and begins fear mongering and tells Trump Iran will have a nuclear weapon within a week. It has a delivery mechanism to attack Europe. It will soon be able to attack the United States. You must strike Iran now. And behind him on a live stream telecast is the Mossad director, David Barnea, who had been constantly briefing John Ratcliffe. And Trump fell into line. He knew what to do. And all of his team, though, the A team that had been cultivated by Israel, also including CENTCOM chief Dan Kane, the Pentagon brass, who was never a fan of this war, they all started murmuring to themselves, this war is insane. What Netanyahu's saying is bogus. Like, even Ratcliffe said this is ridiculous. Marco Rubio called it BS. But what did none of them dare to do? Tell Trump how they felt. They're all a bunch of yes men.
So that's how we got to the war. Everybody, even
Whoa.
was against the war.
Yeah.
Even the head of the CIA was against the war. The head of
Well, they don't run this country.
Isn't it amazing? The only people that were for it, Benjamin Netanyahu and crazy Hegseth.
Oh, wow. I wonder who the deep state could be.
Right? So just in, U.S. President Trump pulls out the chair for Israeli Prime Minister. You want to see it? Who do you think is running things? Who do you think is running things?
Look at Trump.
How many opportunities to comedically pull the chair away at the last second is he gonna let slip through his fingers?
I know. If Trump was a man, he would stomp Bibi to death.
And watch him walk off like a little.
You just sat in the president's chair. You've killed kids for less than this, Trump.
Right. Look at it.
You've killed kids for less than this crime.
He just walks off like a cuck, probably gonna go handcuff himself to a toilet while Bibi has his way in the war room.
Trump's gonna be when he tweeted at Tucker and Candace. He was handcuffed to a toilet doing that. It says, "I'm with you." And think about.
Here's Candace Owens. Actually, she goes, Bibi enjoys publicly humiliating Donald Trump and J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing.
Well, half the beach population here enjoys it for some reason. It makes no sense. You think people's blood would be boiling over this more than it is. I thought the eating the kids part would have got set some people off, but I was wrong.
I like this. I don't know who put this together, but the last 4 presidents of the United States. There's George.
Hey, wait a minute. That's not John McCain. That's Bibi Netanyahu.
George Bush, Barack Obama. That's Biden, and there we have Trump.
I should get to vote in Israel's elections. I feel it's only fair. Just let us vote in Israeli elections.
Me too. So here, I like this. Whoever put this together, MAGA then, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Alex Jones, Elon Musk. Now, Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin. Oh, that's the Laura
Is that
Loomer.
really Larry? Larry looks great.
Who's this guy? I don't know. Is that Whitcomb? I don't know. And then
Marco face McDipshit.
Who is that?
Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
Troll man. What happened to Ben Shapiro's Hitler mustaches for eyebrows? I was into that.
Yeah, whatever. He's still got him. He just got to make it bigger.
Look at this roll-on deodorant head, fucking Levin. What a piece of shit.
These are the people Trump said he was going to get rid of. These are the neocons that always want foreign wars. He was going to get rid of these people and get. He said that at CPAC, and he got cheers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's called a rug pull.
Yeah, it's called a rug pull.
America is a worthless crypto. It turns out. Who knew?
I haven't seen a con job in a campaign. I mean, all politicians lie, but this con job that Trump pulled I haven't seen a con job that good since Nigerian princes learned how to email.
Well, since 9/11, since I fell for 9/11.
Yeah, or 9/11.
Okay, but this one will surpass that because we're going to World War III because Mr. Beebe wants it. And we ain't getting out of what he wants because he's the leader of this country. That's why Trump, you see how Trump walked off? I mean, it was the most, Jeremy from the quartering and Trump are the same guy. A Jewish.
This one clip says so much. A migrant allegedly harassing young girls.
Them girls there? Were you shouting at them girls there? No. Eh?
No. Yeah, I'm totally convinced he did nothing wrong.
Were you? Now you're going on Facebook, you little scumbag. Now you're going on Facebook. Good. You'll be famous, brother. Yeah, famous in the worst ways possible. I'll see you in the future, yeah? Yeah? Eh? I'll see you in the future.
But guess what line of defense the accused shot back with?
Yeah?
Stop being
Good
racist.
Stop being racist.
Right, so the guy harassing and intimidating young girls on the street, allegedly, he's not the villain here. No, no, no. The real villain is the guy who saw it and got angry about it.
Eh? Watch. I'll see you about, brother. I'll see you about, brother. I'll see you after the 20th. I'll see you. Yeah, brother, I'll see you. Eh? What? Get the fuck out the center. What? Come then. What? You fucking nonce.
But wait, there's a twist. Take a wild guess about how a quintessential soy boy who witnessed this reacted.
No, this is not a fucking paedophile. What are you doing?
Let's first see what's going
What
on.
are you doing? Back the
Sees a white man and a brown man involved in a confrontation, immediately assumes it's his moral duty to swoop in and perform a heroic act of anti-racism.
What the fuck are you doing? Back the fuck up away from me before you get knocked out as well. You're going on Facebook as well, you fucking pedo. Fuck off.
The face of civilizational pathological altruism, the very essence of societal masochism boiled down to a 30-second video. We saw yet another example of that just today. But apparently the guy filming caught 2 separate instances of the same predatory behavior within seconds.
2 seconds down the road, another guy looking down at a girl's top, no older than 12 or 13. Two fucking seconds after that video you've just saw, man.
Presumably this woman is racist for noticing too.
Just in case anyone is still under the impression that girls running is safe, I just ran past a man with his out having a. Sorry for my family listening to this. He was literally staring at me the whole way around, and I didn't realise until the last second. We're not making this up. This is actually happening.
This happened in Carlisle, where locals are fed up of seeing random foreign men loitering around in large groups.
What's going on over here? He's meant to be segregating in a car park or something. Does that not look intimidating? What are you all doing here in a public, in a car park? What are you all doing here? Just congregating around everyone. We feel uncomfortable that you're doing this. We feel uncomfortable, mush. If you're just going to stand there in a car park, can you go do it in your own land? Or somewhere that you want to be instead of making other people feel intimidated? We're not your friends, pal. Don't treat us like your friends. Or really, you're going to just start swearing. Mush, I'm saying to you, you're in a car park. English people don't just stand in a car park and just talk randomly to each other with 15 ears. We don't know what you're saying. You're being disrespectful to us in our land. So I'd like you to leave.
Don't click off though, because you won't believe what's happening in Germany and Spain. Clear skin doesn't just change how you look, it changes part of your daily routine. Our European neighbours are being subjected to the same ordeal. This in Germany, where now a quarter of the population has a migrant background. 8 million have been added since 2005. Foreign nationals account for around 15% of the population. Yet official stats show they're responsible for 41% of SA and R cases. Refugees specifically, 2 to 3% of the German population, are suspects in 15 to 18% of cases. The numbers are exploding.
Italien hat 2025 so viele Vergewaltigungen erfasst wie seit Jahren nicht. Das zeigt eine Abfrage der Welt am Sonntag bei allen Bundesländern. Deutschlandweit waren es demnach knapp 14.000 Fälle, 9% mehr als im Jahr davor. In mehreren Bundesländern zeigt die Statistik, dass nicht-deutsche Tatverdächtige übermäßig vertreten sind, nicht nur bei Vergewaltigungen, sondern auch bei der Gewaltkriminalität insgesamt. In Bayern ist hierbei sogar jeder zweite Tatverdächtige ein Ausländer.
Since 2018, there's been a 71% increase in our cases in Germany. 71%. And it's likely far worse because the vast majority of cases go unreported. Then look at violent crime in general. In some major states, Syrians, 16 times higher crime rate than Germans. Afghans, 14 times higher crime rate. The proportion of non-German suspects in violent crime and sexual offences remains disproportionately high. 50% in some violent crime categories. And over in Spain, 20% of the population is now foreign-born. 2 million migrants arrived in just the last few years alone. And they're about to add nearly 1 million more to that number. Because just today, Spain's socialist government signed off on the legalisation of over 500,000 illegal migrants. Rise to over 800,000, and they're all free to roam throughout Europe's open border.
Mañana lo que se va a producir es la legalización e institucionalización de la invasión migratoria. Mañana el Consejo de Ministros va a lanzar un mensaje muy claro al mundo, que es que venir pegando una patada a la puerta tiene premio en España.
Foreign nationals are responsible for 500% more R cases than Spaniards, 414% more murders than Spanish citizens. In France, where we see the same pattern, the new mayor of Saint-Denis in Paris is demanding the same mass amnesty.
C'est un moment extrêmement important. Émouvant, mais en même temps, c'est un acte de résistance et au niveau national pour faire en sorte que la régularisation de l'ensemble des sans-papiers puisse être une action concrète. En France, c'est entre 600 000 et 800 000 étrangers, c'est à peu près 1% de la population, c'est-à-dire quasi rien.
In the Netherlands, a country with a population of just 18 million, same pattern when it comes to R and SA. They're adding 300,000 migrants every year, and boy can you tell. The sheer acceleration at which it's all happening is simply astonishing.
Smell that? It smells like free higher education and deep fried.
There's like a Illuminati letter to Manzini letter going around about hip hop where the guy said he was at a meeting. It may or may not be true, but it's the content's true. That's what they did. Of course they did. I mean, you could easily see that's the goal here. It's just like any war. I profit off of war. So drug war, I profit off.
You should. I have an episode where I interviewed David Morehouse about this operation called Torn Image. So he worked for this. You know how Delta is like Task Force Green. Well, there's something called Task Force Orange. Long before that, it was called Royal Cape or something
Most terrific Task Force Orange.
So it's like the military version of like human intelligence CIA stuff. Okay. So they do these things called strategic deception, where they create a lie that is supposed to last for 10 years. So I don't want to go into it too much.
What? Really?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Because it just takes that long to develop. I'll give you an example. Like one example might be like an anthrax pill, right? So you take an anthrax pill. So it's just like the Russians think you have, and you create like all the pharmacology and all the stuff, and you hand it out to troops, and it makes the Russians think that, we can't use anthrax on them because we'll just take this pill and we'll be fine. It turned out it was like aspirin. So it's like stuff like that you can keep for 10 years, a long time.
Well, you know what? Why not synergize it? Okay. Yeah. Instead of the harmless pill, why don't we test some other shit on these guys? Why don't we do that? They probably do. Nothing to do with anthrax.
Yeah, they probably do. Who knows?
Just kill two birds with one stone. I'm trying to be helpful.
Well, he created one, and they had to stop it in 6 months because it was about to burn out the drug war.
What was that?
So it was called Torn Image, and what they did is they wanted to get the Cali or the Colombian cartels to off each other. So they wanted to create an intra-drug war and an inter-drug war. So they wanted guys within the system killing each other, and they wanted the cartels together. And at one point, it resulted in the leader of one of the cartels getting chainsawed to death because Pablo Escobar thought this guy was spraying his crops. So what they did is they created this deception that there was this active agent that they could spray on cocaine and remove its psychoactive component. And so what they would do is they would intercept some of the supply, and they would chemically remove it, right? But they made people think it was some sort of like fungus or pathogen or something like that was being sprayed on crops. So they would intercept stuff from the supply, remove the psychoactive component, and then reseed it in. So what would start happening is in like the U.S., drug dealers started shooting each other, killing each other, and then in the cartels, they would create or use like the tail images and stuff like that of the rival cartels, and they would fly over their crops and spray them, right? And then so they all thought that they were spraying some psychoactive component that would render their cocaine absolutely obsolete. Now there was another thread where they were working with one of the national laboratories, maybe Sandia National Laboratory, where they're actually trying to find if there was like a pathogen that they could bioengineer that would.
need gems, I fall. Because like in this case, when someone on this structure, when we have like 20 bigs, bats one, it means that he has something good or bad. Like, and you just check raise, and sometimes they're gonna call you, but mostly they're just gonna fold or jam. But sometimes call when you have just very good at equity. That's it. But they're gonna fold a lot. Good morning, Alex. Hope guys you enjoying this show, and if you really like it, drop your thumb up below and subscribe to my channel. That's very important for me because I'm a content creator and I'm creating content for you, but also I'm creating content for living. So more reactions, more followers, more subscribers, and much better for me and my family. So I would be very happy if you just click on those buttons. That's absolutely free for you, and that's cool for me. Boom, boom, bad call. This is direct bubble, just direct bubble. Where is bubble protection? There is no bubble protection. It should be. I have to jump, but like, would he fall there? That's the question. Whatever. I can jump anyway. I just checked that bubble protection and I don't see it. What are you doing when he has king 10 here, king jack here, ace 9? If he's open raising that, of course. See, we jumped twice, and twice it worked. Okay, now we have bubble protection, right? Now we see who has. Click on it. Yeah. See? I don't have it actually, because I let rage that tournament. But almost every single day I let rage just because they start on a bit earlier than I start. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Yeah, I got
to change big blind and cheap amount, I'm clicking here. See, like bam, bam, bam. We can just switch it, but probably you have to set up that in settings here. So you go settings, and where is that? Somewhere here, right? I don't remember where I set up that. Or maybe it is automatic. Oh yeah, here. Switch shape display. See, you go here and you have to click on this and apply, and then you can switch like I. Hi Dennis, good luck today. Is your challenge complete? Yes, it is complete, but no, it is expired. I mean, complete. I finished it because it is expired. You can read about that here. This is bubble of the 400s. What's wrong with music? That looks strong, but like sixes are too good. So I would overfold against him in this situation, but sixes are too good too. We have to jam in. Good luck, good luck. Ty wygrał bilet na 10 kart? Tak. A ja by i tak grał. No ale tak, ty prosto 10 k wygajesz, rozumiesz? To plus 10 też nie minus 10, prawильно? Good game, good game. Good luck. So, this is 525 Classic. And I raised... you know what? This one is too strong against the shark. Just like, I would not buy. I don't want to bet small. Probably if you add small sizings in this strategy, that would be fine. But I do not prefer to play small sizings.
I was just wondering for prescription it was in for John Lawrence McLeod. Okay. '27 Sydney Street. Okay, for the injection. Okay, thank you. Bye.
The Pope came out and he said we need peace, and and that Trump is warmongering, and this you've got to stop the war, which is what you would exactly expect from a man in
Right.
the cloth.
Anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
Anti-Semitism. Yes. But par for the course.
Donald Trump didn't take that well. He went to his Truth Social and said Pope Leo is weak on crime.
What?
And terrible for foreign policy. He talks about fear of the Trump administration, but doesn't mention the fear that the Catholic Church and all other Christian organizations had during COVID when they were arresting priests, ministers, and everybody else for hoking. What is that?
Holding church services?
For holding church services, even when going outside and being 10 and even 20 feet apart. I like his brother, Louis, much better than I like him because Louis is all MAGA. He gets it. And Leo doesn't. I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't want a pope who thinks it's terrible that America attacked Venezuela, a country that was sending massive amounts of drugs to the United States. Even worse, emptying their prisons, including murderers, drug dealers, and killers into our country. And I don't want a pope who criticizes the president of the United States because I'm doing exactly what I was elected in a landslide to do, setting record low numbers in crime and creating the greatest stock market in history.
So what?
This is what he's saying. Leo should be thankful. As everyone knows, he was a shocking surprise. He wasn't on any list to be pope and was only put there by the church because he was an American and they thought that would be the best way to deal with President Trump. If I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. Unfortunately, Leo's weak on crime, weak on nuclear weapons, does not sit well with me, nor does the fact that he meets with Obama sympathizers like David Axelrod, a loser from the left, who was one of those who wanted churchgoers and clerics to be arrested. Leo should get his act together as Pope, use common sense, stop catering to the radical left, and focus on being a great Pope, not a politician. It's hurting him very badly, and more importantly, it's hurting the Catholic Church, President Dow. So then they asked,
More than the other thing?
right? Is it more than the other thing? So they ask him, hey, shouldn't you be apologizing to the Pope? And here's what he says.
Seriously, okay, inflation was up 3.3%. Prices are out of control. Everyone has been affected. Even my boy Grabon can't afford these groceries.
Nah, real. I feel bad for Gabon. Life is tough. Oh my god, who's Gabon?
Oh, Grabon is a friend of ours. He's Grabon these nuts!
Yeah, I really don't appreciate being shot in the face a bunch of times. Also, you're supposed to come out here and talk about the inflation report. You've had this assignment for weeks.
Nah, chill right now. Chill out. Let me lock in.
Lock in.
Good. Okay, inflation report, right? Let me ask you a basic question of economics.
Basic?
Basic.
The lowest crime numbers we've had in a long time, despite the fact that many criminals were allowed into our country, but we've gotten a lot of them out. We've done a great job on crime. So we have the lowest murder rate in 125 years since 1900. The lowest murder rate. So we believe strongly in law and order, and he seemed to have a problem with that. So there's nothing to apologize for. He's wrong. And the other thing is he didn't like what we're doing with respect to Iran, but Iran is wants to be a nuclear nation so they can exterminate the world. Not going to happen.
Okay, so then, what's that?
Does Iran have a Samson option? I
No, they don't. So, so they asked him again. Here he is on getting on a plane.
Wow. I don't know. Yes.
That's what you get when you throw a drink in a man's face and his wife's face. There was a reason his wife was holding his shirt, because she knew what he was capable of. And I like sports, I like the banter that comes with it, but there's a limit. And I don't like the way people get brave when they get in groups. And that's what the dickhead that threw the drink at the guy did. And he learned a valuable lesson. Seriously, what did the guy think would happen when he dumped the beer in someone being ejected from a game?
Filming in the gym. You don't understand me filming your shit, bro. That's that, and the fact that you put yourself into this little weight, you know, fat fuck like yourself, bro. Let's go out. Let's go. Let's go there.
Most of us aren't fans of people filming in the gym, but you ain't got to go up to the guy and call him a fat reason. That's a bit far, right? Maybe if the guy was acting loud and obnoxious, but he was just chilling, man. He wasn't really doing nothing. Apparently, the guy actually got banned.
Well, I spoke to that young man, Peter, on FaceTime yesterday. He's a good kid that works really hard and really, really loves that gym. He told me that following that video, there was a second incident where that man tried to corner him in the locker room to intimidate and try to fight him. The police were called, a report was made, and that man was asked to leave the gym. So what do you know? Just like I suspected, that man has a violent criminal past, being charged with battery and bodily harm. Following that second incident, this gym, Fitness Premier in Bourbonnais, put out this statement saying that that man has been banned from all locations.
David got banned and he also got sent to jail.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
These gender reveals are getting more and more ridiculous. Like, what the fuck is this? This is so extra. There's no need for all of this, man. Just pop a balloon or something. How badly does this guy want to show off? He doesn't even include his wife. He's just doing it all on his own. He's like, no, I'll take care of this. It's about me. Having a baby with a man that needs this much attention cannot be a good idea. Yeah, I agree. Bro's definitely a narcissist. His shirtless flipping on bars while the gender gets revealed. Sis signed up for 18 years of main character syndrome. Baby or not, never trust a head back laughter, motherfucker. Yeah, the gender reveal and baby shower and shit for the women. This you're doing the absolute most. Agreed. No way.
Why do you think?
Oh. Kung Fu. Not your Kung Fu.
And laughing at him. Just absolutely razzing the guy. Does Armin Sarukian realise who he's just bumped into? This guy's the most dangerous man on the planet.
Come straight up. What's your name? I know, I was asking for your name. Have you had a photo? I can treat you better though. I can treat you better though, I promise. I never said it. I never was asking if you had a boyfriend. Yes, go, bro. What's your IG? Tell him to take more tests. What's your IG? Tell him to take more tests. Tell him to take more tests. That's hilarious. You got a high pitched voice. You gotta hop on tests. Yeah, so. I don't need to hop on tests. Yo, Shotty. How many back shots do you think you can take before your boyfriend get mad?
I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I don't find some other
Well, I mean, like, it'll be more for you. Because you know me. I wouldn't cap. Alright. I don't know. It is what it is, man. Did it not work? It's all good. That bitch is going. Uh-oh. Yo, yeah. Yo, go pick it up. Go pick it up.
Why is your voice so high pitched, man?
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Why are you so mad?
Doesn't matter. Dude, what's the fun?
No. I don't need the security. We could do some right now. I don't need security. That's what I thought. I don't need security.
No.
Let's go.
No.
You get it loud ass? No. Left you.
We can't be arguing with motherfuckers.
This guy right here is a complete dickhead. He walks up to that couple thinking he's going to get some content and make the guy look like an idiot. gets rejected. The girl's not even interested. And then he tries to fight the guy that he's just tried to humiliate on camera. What an absolute knobhead. And I've said before, when Klavikina does this, sometimes he does the guy a favour because you can see if the girl's interested or not. But he needs to stop now. This whole going up to people trying to cuck him is corny. And fair play to the kid as well, because he stood up for himself and his girl actually walked away. She went out of the situation. That was the best thing she could have done. But this guy here, whoever he is, he's a complete dickhead. People are saying that she came back an alien. How do we know aliens didn't replace the astronauts in the 40 minutes we lost contact with Artemis? How the dog sees her. That dog knows something we don't.
No, I did things in Miami I haven't even told my husband because it's just I had that much fun.
It's always Miami, isn't it?
But like, I knew he would judge the kind of partying I was doing. I don't know what got into me. I just remember being down there acting like it was my last day on earth.
It's always Miami, isn't it? That's always where they go when they want to start being back in the streets again. Women like this have zero respect for their husbands.
I have a financial advisor. He's great. I love him so much. Basically, like, I'll get paid through the site, and it goes straight to him into a financial firm, and then he pays me like $5,000 a month, and then you just like, and then I live off that and my credit card.
Do you know what your net worth is today?
No idea.
If you had to guess.
Probably like 5 million, 20 million,
No,
5 to 20, 5 to 20.
No, it has to be more than that.
I don't know. Like, I'm not like, that's why I pay someone to do all my financial stuff for me. I don't know anything about.
She's still a donut.
Okay. I was like 5 to 20 was my guess somewhere.
It has to be higher than that.
I pay a lot like in taxes though, so like I don't.
Yeah, but if you made a,
I don't have that much.
If you know, well, we do the math. I'm basically taking your total income, subtracting taxes, subtracting living expenses and other discretionary spending.
Okay.
Then I'm adding in the fact that you've been investing the money an extra 15% over the last 2 years, which is on the conservative side of things. And that takes me to 43.
Okay.
if I ask you what's your net worth and you're saying between 5 and 20, that shows to me that you have no idea what's going on financially, which is like insane to me. And work a little bit less, but spend a little bit of time understanding your finances.
I literally have considered like taking a college course online just on that.
Like literally find someone.
I knew she was dumb, but I didn't think she was actually retarded. She said she's made 100 million on OnlyFans. Why would she only have a net worth of 5 million, even if she does pay half in taxes? I think this is a mixture of her being dumb and also lying about her income.
Imagine after you grind for 5 years,
I guess that is pretty big.
and you learn that you have $10 million. What are you gonna say? Where did it all go, right?
Yeah.
Like, why did I grind so hard? Well, that could be the reality. You don't know how much these money people that are like working with you are taking. Would you be able to say what percent they're taking? That's the thing. You have like, and they could be taking some crazy percent.
I just like, I don't like, see, like, I don't know any of this.
Just
like,
get
I
a
just,
third-party
it's crazy.
fiduciary.
Oh my god, what a dipshit. Someone said the financial advisor.
Mark Norman, you look like a puppy waiting to get adopted. Bitch, shut your...
Wow, with the green, you look like Shrek. I like the dreads, Bob Marley.
I don't even got a joke against your motherfucking
You don't know your dad.
I do know my dad. He's cremated, living in my garage right now.
Even your dad's ashy.
A real comedian against a shit one. He picked on the wrong one. He's way too quick-witted for him. He absolutely destroyed him.
You know, we didn't build and maintain society. That's a fact. You know, and women do that too. I look around. Can you name anything that a woman has built on our plain sight?
Wi-Fi.
Well,
The thing that you make money off? Wi-Fi. Only mentions Wi-Fi. You suck.
There's a lot of cringy things that are said in this show that I don't agree with, but this is one of the things that is actually true. They're stood on a roof looking at a city, a bunch of tall buildings. So most of those things are built by men and maintained by men. And most of the jobs that people don't want to do are done by men. And Wi-Fi wasn't invented by a single person, but developed through the contributions of many. Key figures include Vic Hayes and Dr. John Sullivan. And the woman that she's referring to is an actress called Hedy Lamarr. She and another man called George Anthale developed and patented the frequency hopping system. And I'm not saying that women don't contribute to anything. Of course they do. I'm just saying that in that program, he's literally looking at tall buildings. So it's normal that he's saying that. I don't care what anyone says. People can say, oh, they're just acting. It's an art. You're getting cucked. If you're with an actress or an actor and you're seeing them kiss other people and pretend to have sex with other people, you're getting cucked. Especially if you're watching this shit in person. Watching it in person is crazy. What are you doing to yourself?
Men do not need love from women. That idea was carefully planted to make them weak. History does not remember the men who begged for affection. It remembers the men who built empires. Powerful men were never driven by comfort. They were driven by purpose. Marcus Aurelius ruled the greatest empire on earth while sleeping on military beds. Alexander crossed continents before he was 30. Their strength did not come from chasing validation. Because the moment a man believes he needs love to function, he places his stability in someone else's hands. And the man who depends on approval can always be controlled. A disciplined man understands a brutal truth. Love is a luxury, not a foundation. Your foundation must be self-mastery, purpose, and control over your own mind. Build yourself so strong that affection becomes optional, not necessary. Because the moment a man no longer needs to be loved, he becomes impossible to manipulate.
Someone said, what bro sends after he gets ghosted again? Yeah, be a man. Remember other people's birthdays. Don't give a shit about your own. Don't work too much. Definitely wear sunscreen. Train when you can. Don't try and make yourself feel like more of a man by calling other people names who've done nothing wrong to you. Yes, protect women and children. And try and travel the world if you can.
Lead scrimmage the U14 LAFC boys team. So it's a 14-year-old boys team, like academy, about to be pro in like 3 years. They play us and like full-grown women, professional sports. They beat us, which is like relatively normal. But we keep scheduling these games because it's really good for our training.
So you don't do it for the entertainment factor. It's really just to make you better athletes. Because I remember hearing about this, that the women's team had played like UC 15 boys at some point a long time ago, and they lost. So this happens regularly.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. And so this happens, like we get better, we watch the film, and then in the warm-up line, which a lot of conversations happen in the warm-up lines on a pro sports team because you're there 30 minutes every single day. And one of our captains was like, oh, I don't think we should do it. The risk's too high. And I was like, what do you mean the risk? And she was like, oh, well, if the parents record it and post it on TikTok, it looks bad for us. And at that point, I was like, whoa, newsflash, Elizabeth. If we're worried about looking bad, but not worried about perfecting our craft, like we lost the plot. Like this isn't about competitive sports anymore. Pro sports, there's something else happening here. And I kind of was like, oh, like dig a little deeper. And then you realize like, wait, if we're going to hide the fact of why women's category is important, why do we even have women's sports categories together?
Fair enough to her for actually wanting to improve and admitting that the boys are better. Not like we didn't know. But this just proves again, we need to start paying teenage boys money if we're paying the women money. Look, she wants to be there, she's loving it. And she's rubbing it in his face, so just send her where she belongs.
She belongs to the streets.
pot going down. So like, he's going to be buying to the chip lead, right? He's got almost 5 million. So we'll have 5 million, 5.8, 3.4, 4 million, 2.6 million. Very even stacks. No one very short. 2.4 the shortest. Remaining blinds are there. Upper left of your screen. 443K to first. Sixth place, getting over six figures again here on the GG Millions. And we will keep it running. This has been a long hand. 242 thumbs up. Four-handed, we will kick up the $50 giveaway 3 times for 3 people, a $50 ticket. You must hit subscribe. Must be a subscription and a thumbs up on the channel. So we welcome you to do that now as we are at a little delay. As Pascal looks like he's going to time out of here. No drama, though. He didn't have the best hand, so poor decision. Folding as we will go on.
Well, it's good that he didn't have a hand, man. Would be harsh. So
Okay.
what were we talking before this episode?
We were talking about ICM. We went into detail about that. We were talking
Just after that, I don't remember now. Maybe the audience can help us.
I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of aggressive rebetting with all kinds of suited aces, really spots. People are just taking it, and it's been a kind of a clinic and aggression. We haven't seen too many coolers, but we're still six-handed after starting out relatively quickly, right? I think we lost 3 the first 30 minutes or so, and now it's been a while.
There's only induce here? Yeah, went for the induce.
Tell me about ace king suited and ace king off, and what stack blind depth you would be looking to induce versus just jam.
Every time you have to go up in a spot with ace king off, that's very, very, very unlikely that your opponent is gonna flat your very small par bet. It's a good spot to.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold the phone. Ann Arbor, Michigan. Shout out to Ace Deuce. Just won the college basketball title, and they need help. Ace King is going to lock up essentially at least chop at worst. So needs a queen only, or we will continue. Okay. That had ridiculous chops, and I said he was quiet, but he has run all of a sudden pretty subpar as he has gotten 2 chances to be in very good position. So he'll have to wait, as that was nasty, but at least he didn't have to sweat, right? He didn't have to sweat a deuce, and there you go.
Yes. But yeah, like when your opponent's not gonna flat for whatever reason, you are not worried about giving like such good odds, you know. Then you can like induce very wide. Like this spot, if Ian's decided to bet, where does his to bet come from? Like very likely from ace X, right? Maybe like king jack, king queen off, and all hands that Jans have a lot of that Ole has a lot of action against because he dominates, and he also opens the door for Jans to jump dominated hand. So when you do have the ace king off in your far back normally range, what you also can do as a consequence of that is bluffing more. That's a good thing because you can profitably bluff more because you have more induced hands. But if you're in a position, let's say you're playing like 30 whatever blinds deep and you get to bet from middle position. If you four bet small, the guy can call your two bet. He can call with a hand like queen 10 suited. You can call with a hand like jack 10 suited. And that's a very bad thing for ace king off to give away such good price for a good action hand and being out of position. That's horrible. Or also, let's say in a spot that the guy can 5-bet jam a pocket pair. You don't want to get to induce a pocket pair when you have ace king off, right? So those are the tricks that you should check when you're gonna induce with ace king off. Is the guy gonna? Is there any chance that he's gonna have a pocket pair? It's not good to induce them. And Jans just flats him here with the kings. Interesting. He didn't think kings like because is kings good enough to get it in? Yes, it is. But you have to compare with getting it in. Getting it in here is not very good in the first place. Because like chip leader against chip leader, 6-way, overall, you don't want to get it in, right? Overall. So yes, Kings is good enough, but how does Kings perform when he calls? Like we can see what's happening here. The leader needs a jacks, putting chips, maybe like a bridge from the river, he puts more chips, so you don't play for it all, but you win a big pot. So Jansen is like, okay, I can get it in with Kings, that's a comfortable play. But maybe calling is more risk, but I can win like not a very big pot or not just three pot, but I can win a 3 million pot or like he's about to win a 4 million pot and get the massive chip leader. So I think it's nice since every time an ace comes, you hate your life, but it's just part of the game. And look what just happened here. The side of the pot that he's gonna win against Binder that would have just snap folded pre-flop against forward.
I can tell you what, Binder does make a good check back, but a nice flop there for Jan. Similar hand earlier against Ole, right, with the ace jack. You saw get off cheap against the aces, and Jan's on the other side of that this time with a nice spot. And again, this is part of the function. These guys are playing so well. There's some aggression free. Where ultimately people are not making huge mistakes and playing very well post flop, making good decisions,
exactly,
leading people not to go broke or the money to fly, which it easily could. So there we go. We'll keep it rolling at 6-handed. Very even now. 4 million, 3.5, 3.8, 2.4, 2.4, and 8. You see a limp and a raise, 5-8 suited debating. Knows Jans is going to attack pretty wide here. Curious if he ever makes a very aggressive move. Does he want to just flat, little flop? He's realizing post flop out of position. He's just going to fold.
Yeah, it's a fold. It's just
options.
You don't have enough equity there to continue. You don't have good blockers to bet, to lead your bet as well. Someone asked if Jan should ever like don't the river, like leave the river the Kings. I don't think it's be a good play. Like you are very happy to just like take to showdown at this point. And like what's Bluff are gonna put in this maybe there's a chance. Like you do that with like King Queen suited and Kings. I can see this happening. I can see this overlooking as it's like, you know what? Why not? Yeah, raise call, bet call, and you're just gonna get another good pot.
King 6. Gonna put a check mark on the hand, barring. Yep, that'll do it. That size, the spot, just staying barring some hand where the river is like a 7 of clubs or something, but that'll do it. Has to. Just jack off. That story should end there. Makes you wonder if the size was different. Ace Jack still seems curious, but no, he's gonna get out of the way. Jack 4 suited, Jack 9 suited, button 9 million now. Jan's your chip leader, and Binder, who had 10 million, is 3 now. So things shifted. Pascal was up to 6. That's about 4.
Oof. That's an action flop. I can see Jan's doing. I think Jan's gonna bet, yeah, because he has the chip lead. The guy is like in ICF jail here, so he has to bet a lot. And I think later we should raise here. I think he should raise. He should raise like very few hands, but like this is one of those hands, and he can choose from a high variety of hands to bluff with here. Like usually when I have wow, Norway.
Wow.
This is so brutal, man. This is so brutal.
Crazy. Flop the rainbow stone nuts, no board pair, and somehow 8 comes home where 8-9 is now in Barney Rubble.
I feel for him. This
That
is
is
like
that is
insane.
crazy. We got a question about the flags. Again, these players are where they're located or registered residence doesn't mean that's where they're born is right. So that can change and people travel. Pascal is Canadian, but some other guys different parts of the world. You see often Austrian flags for players in Europe. It's favorable laws, taxes, similar to U.S. players that might move to Canada or Mexico. Be a good example of that. But yes, we are going to keep this in here. He just can't believe it. He's going to raise, and you know what? Even if you're Laker Bell, like, yeah, you go from the nuts to, you almost have to wonder. You probably, at first glance, you're not like even considering that card. You're not winning, but now you do realize you do lose to some hands. But yeah, let's see here.
Yeah, I think Hans is like, okay, I know you have 6, I know you can have 7. I don't. This is important. It's straight for my hand. I don't want to lose value from you. So yes, let's raise. I have the nuts. If you have the 9, maybe we can get it in here now. And I'm not gonna let you see the for sheep. What if you have a hand like I don't know, some sort of flush draw? Like 7. It's very likely had a flush draw, right? But yeah, like set is more likely like 67s, maybe a hand like 10-7. And yeah, let you charge more of those hands, and now like the hand played itself. Very, very unlucky. It's impossible to fold here. 9-8 off. I think it would be a bad play. You just need to, because Jans can have a 9 himself.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Can't. I mean, listen. Didn't think long. Can't blame him. That is a what's the word? Unsavory, undeserving. Our friend who was just on the show, he got second from 150 to 1,000 satellite to a 300 plus T score. Just hits another 6-figure score. So in great form. And our friend there, Coco Bongo Reg, may know him as from before. He is off to another great score. Good to see him on the show from the player perspective again. And now we will go 5-handed. Though 4-handed will start big giveaways, and 12 million for Jans. He is looking dangerous. Look at these Austrian flag here, just dominating right now. 3 out of the 5 remaining good stacks, and Brazil and Austria, the 2 countries we see the most of on the show, and are maybe in the best form in the world, I would say.
Again, man, look at that turn. What's going on here? And I like Pascal bet in the flop. It's not like yes, you have second pair, but it's not a normal second pair because you can beat all other second pair because it's a limited pot, and the guy can have and like 8x as well that you get value from. And also when they have queen x, you can improve. You can improve to a straight. So it's a good check to bet. I like his bet. I like his turn bet as well. It's again very unlucky. He might block again, man. I think he might. Yeah, he went for it. I can see this happening. And Anton just calls. Mm. Yeah, it's a fine play.
It's not a 2-card straight. It's a 1. So he loses. Yeah, just saw a nasty.
Yeah,
So similar.
it stays in our mind, right? the last one. Yeah, the thing is, sometimes the ranges are so wide that you shouldn't misvalue this straight. Like, oh, if the guy has a higher straight, he has a higher straight. The ranges are too wide, and you should raise your 10x. In this spot, you have a lot of 10x, so maybe raise some of them, check some of them, raise the ones that unblock two pairs. Maybe it's the best idea. And you can have the higher straight yourself. It's not like the guy's gonna go crazy after you. I think he should have raised that 10-7 and call with like jack 10, 10-9, 10-8. Everything that blocks two pairs you call. Everything that unblocks two pairs you raise. I think that would be the best.
That's a nice trick. I don't think I've heard that specific explanation on here, and that is a great point. That is a good thing to think about when doing that, as we see a interesting matchup here. 6-7 suit, a lot of equity with the 4, 6, 7 backdoor club, ace 5, top pair, top kicker on the 5-3-3. So both going to be happy with this flop overall.
Sure.
As we will see some chips exchanged.
I think he has 14 blinds back at fine. He's just gonna call. He can't raise fold here. If he raises, he has to get it in. He has to call jam. It's just too much equity. So he's gonna call, so he doesn't need to be put in that position. Olishan has a very, very easy raise. Barrel, actually. I think. And Binder is. I can see Binder mini raising here. I think that would be the best strategy. If he decides to continue, of course. Because when you mini raise, you put the king jack in a third spot, you put the king jack in a third spot, the king nine suited in a third spot, and you can have all 3x of the suited 3x that you call pre-flop. You're gonna only call on the flop. And you can have a hand like ace 10 yourself, check raise. You can have a hand like king 10 suited yourself, check raise there. All those hands are good enough. So 7-6 suited, I could see like a min raise there. Very cheap. You realize your action. You bluff some hands.
Binder, ace queen suited, monster hand, five-handed,
monster,
open and a flat, and I mean he's gonna rip it and ace seven off. Think about what about Jan's instead of flatting, shoving on that open there with that one stack and don't want to call off? Is that a reasonable hand or is that too loose?
For sure, reasonable hand. Sometimes you either have fours to jam and eights to flat. And yeah, I think fours is better to jam there. I think maybe Jans is gonna go for the like let me win all these small pots, you know. Let's raise a lot. Let's bet small a lot. Let's go for those pots. This is gonna work for sure. Jans has 1 minute, right? So can get very interesting with the 1 minute time bank.
Yeah. Who do you got in the World Cup? Brazil versus who? I know you got Brazil, but this is gonna be a fun World Cup. Who else do you like? Are you just completely on Brazil?
I know. I'm excited for the World Cup. I'm a Brazilian of heart, so the national team is very important. And I know we have Morocco's, and we have which European team? Let me check. Let me double check. I don't
The
remember.
only thing about this 48 team, I think that's the one thing. There's going to be a few games in the first, early stages that are going to be a little bit kind of blowout. But then, it's exciting. It's unique, different. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. It's Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. That's how to say it in English? So, Scotland, Morocco's, and Haiti. I don't know in English.
Is that Haiti? Morocco?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Morocco, yeah. Morocco's great.
Morocco is very, very tough. Yes.
Down as the Coleman, I think he's very good. Plays on Napoli. Yeah, we'll see, but it'll be fun. I hope Neymar, man, fingers crossed. We love everyone. Neymar fan is so fun. I think there's been the news about it. He's been crushing it, playing well. Hopefully he's in there. The thing is, I don't see Neymar is not a guy on the bench, right? So it's like, is he going to start and play him or not? It's very interesting. He's had some injury, but hopefully we see him play.
Yeah, if he goes, he's gonna be the bench. I don't think he can play like 90 minutes.
Yeah, or he's the guy exactly. Maybe he can give you like if he's not at 100%, even to give him 20 to 35, 40 minutes.
Exactly.
That's still one can play at the top level in the world. So, and this is bad timing for Pascal. The good news is not lose much more than this, as Ole is gonna get a tier 1 hand ace king suited.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna far bet on a win here.
Yeah, it's good enough, and it's suited, strong.
Yes, position. Well, like this is one of the spots. Maybe Pascal is never flat in three, so there's a chance Pascal has a hand like Queen 10 suited here. No. But even with this hand, I think Pascal should just call here. Really, like 400, less than 400 to play over 2 million pots. Why not? Yeah, I would call if I were him.
Yeah, I guess the reasons you know though too. It's like you call
Wow.
and you hit the ace, and you're smoked, or you hit the nine. And
Yeah.
you don't know where you're at. It's kind of hard to play that without hitting the flush draw or two pair or
Yeah.
pair and flush draw. But yeah, I get it. It is affordable. It is affordable.
Yeah, I think again, it's just the price. Like poker is about pricing, and the price was just too good. That's how I bust this tournament this Sunday. Actually, the guy 5 bet click, I call king 10 suited quickly, and because in the he was like never had aces there, 100% on flat three, so I had like the very perfect price. The flop came king, jack, nine, and he had kings. So maybe I should have advised him to call to stand out of position. Yeah, maybe it's connecting safely in there.
Yeah, internet a little choppy over there. We're still 5-handed, 4-handed. We started the giveaways. 290 of you already. Unbelievable from everyone there. Almost that's kind of a record before the giveaway started. We really do appreciate that. That the show means a lot of time and effort, energy goes into producing this, and we hope you enjoy it. Get the biggest guests in the world. Got the biggest prize pool, best software. Very proud of the GG Millions and GG Poker, and obviously fresh off the Prague. It was an awesome series there. 15 bracelets awarded. So we are, it's time for online now for a while. The WSOP right around the corner. What are you playing in the one in the USA? Have you got your schedule picked out? You know what buy-ins you're playing, how high, how often? Do you have how do you approach your schedule for the summer?
Yeah, I didn't because I don't know where I was able to go, what states I would be able to go. I'm gonna get married in the end of the year, so I have some marriage things to arrange. You know how it is, like a lot of things to do. And my wife, she's gonna have my fiance, soon to be wife, is gonna have surgery, but she doesn't know yet which date, so it might conflict with the WSOP. So I didn't see anything really. But last year I went there for like 30 days. I play all the mixed games, and so when you play the mixed games, the schedule is very packed. It's very fun.
Yeah, that's a lot. You almost no breaks, right? You bust something, you're in
Exactly.
a chance at another one, so it's good, but it's also can be tiring. Do you schedule? You block off certain events you just won't miss. Where you take a day or two break before. You kind of just play every day, whenever it's ever available.
Yeah, I go day by day, just like to see how I'm feeling. And with the recent games, there is always something exciting to play that you like. You have one tournament of this game, one other tournament of that other game. So like to don't not miss those when I'm there. And I don't stay there for very long, so it's easier to play like almost every day. How about you? When you going? What's your plans?
I'll play the main. I got the two little kids right now. I'm playing a little less tournaments, but I'll plan to go there for early July and play the main plus a few other things. The ESPN coverage back, it's awesome. There's so much interesting stuff happening. Actually, gonna play the 25K heads up that Peacock event at Poker Go. So that's end of April. I'm excited about that. I'll be there for
Ooh, that's very
that.
cool.
Yeah, first time playing that. I just got confirmed and yeah, so that's fun. And I said, I've seen so many heads up here every week. I'm studying a little bit of heads up, so I like try to win it for the GG Millions team. And we're at home, it'll be fun, and that'll be Vegas then. And then about a month later, or no, what's that? A month? April. About 2 months later, be back there for the first one. E7 suited, gonna pull the trigger, takes it down, very nice.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised with two hands. That the only lead call with ace 10 suited, I was expecting him to lead three bets. That I thought he would like lead three bet on all in. He decided to lead flat. He did win the pot and everything, so it worked fine. He also had an interesting hand. He had like ace deuce off. In this spot, ace deuce off is a very good candidate to jam, and because the way your range is built, you don't really have a lot other than this type of hands. And now Anton jam A7 suited. I was expecting to flat A7 suited there, but he didn't jam. I think it's fine. You have like 20 blinds, but it was two hands that I was expecting to go in another direction that went that way. And we continue with the Young Show.
Ooh, look at these four hands. Low pair, Broadway, suited real ace, and another suited Broadway. So very interesting. This is four real hands in the cutoff button. Small blind, big blind. Ole definitely could take a aggressive move here.
Yeah, he's contemplating with flatting. Oh, wow! I didn't see it coming. I could see flatting with the guy opening cut off with 22 blinds. It's not thrilling, but maybe at all. But I was expecting him to just three bet actually, and it opened the door to the binders to actually in the box.
It's amazing his timing, you know, that just doesn't have whatever. He's got the deuces, he doesn't get cooler, he just picks it up. Important pot, multiple ways. Others, multiple ways that could have been that hand playing out. But yeah, he ends up getting to be the aggressor and take it down. And yeah, remember Annie plus structural change heads up turn. Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some nuances to that, and gotta be alert and gonna check that out. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. But we are seeing heads up almost every time. I don't know if we've actually ever seen a double knockout. Not that I've seen where there's been a double knockout. That happens. There have been a few majors where there's multiple win. There's a hit as a blind spoke to 71-40. Jan's Aaron's a minute on his shot clock, chess clock, as we are still going. And thank you for that tip, Jack Sharp. Definitely got to do a little watching. I want to see last year's coverage and take a look because there is, that is interesting. It's good to know the format that you're playing and the structure and the blinds and everything, and be sure to be on top of it. We are going to have Alvin in here for the rest of the show today. And have you seen the show? Or do you get to premiere watch it? You saw some cuts or edits, or are you seeing the tomorrow at noon Eastern? Millionaires episode 2.
No, I did see the first version of it. They went to get like my thoughts and if everything was fine on my side. And yes, I enjoyed it a lot. Think it's gonna be everybody's gonna enjoy. And yeah, my friends are very excited as well to watch and everything. The Brazilian community, you know how loud we are. So when one of us is out there, we all feel the pride, and it's a great episode. I'm very very happy to be a part of. Very proud to be a part of, and really, man. Hopefully, GG Poker keeps running it because it's so fun. Like so fun.
And this hand a 9. The binder has himself a win. A7. No, ace high. Interesting when you're blocking the ace high and calling kind of hero-y hand. You have the heart as well. Doesn't go huge here. And always kind of close, right? There are bluffs. He knows he can bluff hands. He's going to have some bluffs. It really comes down to the size and then capability of the player. Does he open? Does he bluff? Jack 10, Jack Queen.
Yeah, it's 7. You won't block it all of those, right?
Mixes.
You won't block it all everything. Let's call.
Yeah, Ole is a guy I can very rarely find hands where he gets hero calls and he's wrong, right? So here's could be one. Does it help him or hurt him with the heart coming that he loses to the flushes now too? I mean,
Yes, it's a few more hands that he would really like to have a heart in his hand because as played binder would bet a floating river as well.
of an awkward stack. Does he want to rip it? Does he want to play? Does he want to pass? Pass skull. He'll go with the option. He's got multiple options. He's going to go for a basically committal all in unless we're 2 all-ins behind. So he does not pass. Passes the chips in the middle, picks it up. There's a look at that. Epson Online Poker is there at noon Eastern for the Poker Millionaires, and that is a look at that. And Kelvin, tell me about that. You risked some small stakes, the smallest. When did you start playing online poker? Until now.
I started playing in 2011. I started from the start. I started playing up to $11 tournament. When I left everything to play poker, I started playing up to $11 tournaments. The thing is, like in Brazil, if you don't need to make a lot to have enough to live. So for like Europeans and for Americans, like how can you like survive playing like up to $11 tournaments? But yeah, you can, you can still here. And yes, I grind all my way up to the high stakes. The high stakes is very different nowadays, right? Because like what was their high stakes in 2015? It was maybe like it had like one tournament per week that was 1K buy-in, like, and that was it. So if you think in that sense, I have been playing high stakes since like 2015, but as we know, it changed a lot through the years. I was always very selected with the tournaments I play. So if I see like nowadays I play the 10K GG Millions, but I usually don't play the 5K PKO on Sunday, and I either place a $200 tournament because I think my EV is like way higher in this tournament compared to the 5K. Sometimes playing a tournament like the 5K costs so much attention because the guys are so good.
Hence,
that
the
maybe
six
it's
is
better.
a dominating hand here for Jans to send us the four-handed. Heart is possible 3-1 right now. River, is it red or a 6? It is red, and that is not that Pascal running cold. That would have been 14.5 million chips. Instead, it's going to keep us fairly level, but still a nice lead for Jans, 9.3 million. And we are going to see the action continue 5-handed. So we're going to wait a little bit as we still will play. We are going to do the giveaways at 4-handed. 300 thumbs up. That is crazy. 1,800 watching right now. And we are going to keep it moving. And 8:27, couple of interactions here. Let's try to get in trouble. You got to realize the chip leader is going to open so wide. 2-7 off the computer hand. He is going to fall. He is not going to improve here. He's going to get in a bit of trouble, and you can't blame him. He's going to hang on here a little bit. You're against Johnson. He knows opening so wide.
Yeah, man, I had a delay and I thought it for you first. And yeah, like the hunting parts there, it was good to see. And Anton against Super Leader, it's always a tougher decision. Always tougher because you can see in our mind so many random hands that the guy could have. But yeah, he did fine. So very good.
King 9 suited, King 3 suited. The 9 has nice interaction here, blocking 8-9 and over plus a running flush. As we will we're gonna keep it rolling. Ace 10, Ace 10 here, and Anton. This looks like a nice all-in, and for 10 blinds flat, you're covering. What would be the cutoff here to call Johnson? Ace 10 good enough, but what else would be? How wide would you go?
I think Ace 7 off is like very clear calls too.
All right. Well, Ace 10 suited. suited, ace 10, 2 flush draws to 1. There it is. That's why slight favors got the back door. Gonna chop up. Nothing dramatic here. No spare turn. That goes all in. Emoji. Some respect. We see a chop. 2.7 million. Still 5 gained. Giveaways gonna have to wait. Four-handed will queue it up. Appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up. Be subscribed. That's how you're eligible. Keywords to follow. And we are going for potentially could be a new winner. Laker Bell is out. Let me just make sure. Binder 2-time winner. Jan's 5-time winner. Pascal has not won, so he could be our first. Ole has 6. And that is going to be, so we will see 3s now. Binder, another flip. Ace Jack suited. Ooh, scary is a heart would be, that is it. That's just what he's used to. Needs to hit a straight flush though. Hold on. 7 or deuce of hearts. That would be, I mean, Binder, he knew that was not a 5%. He didn't feel it 2 out of there. He was safe. That is a knockout. Not going to lose many flips in a row. He's on a heater. We are four-handed. We will start the giveaways. We see the payouts start getting more and more serious. 200K guaranteed for these players, and it is wide open. We'll see a repeat winner, a new winner in Pascal, but either way, Ole, after a couple of nasty chops, when he's ahead, still finds himself in position here. 3.7. Now, how are we doing on our wager? I've got Binder, I've got Jans, you've got
Pascal.
okay. Still in mix here.
Yeah. I trust Pascal. It's okay. And Jan's opening very wide in this hand. I'm a bit surprised that open. Seems a little bit too wide. I have a bit of a delay now, so maybe I will.
Okay.
It's taking like 5 seconds more than you to see the action. Something like that.
Oh, okay. No problem. Well, yeah, I'll call the action and catch up as we see the hand when it
perfect.
But you're in the giveaways about to start. As you will see that 330 if you are eligible. Gotta hit the thumbs up, gotta be subscribed, 19 who are watching. The tweet as well. Jeff goes over pin. Got that link 50 cash retweet. Guess who wins? Don't have to be correct. We see another blind on blind battle. 8-4 suited, 7 blind suited.
Yeah, 8-4 suited. It's one of these hands that you just appreciate everything that folds. And when you get called, you have like some playability. You make hands that dominate you to fold. And yes, in this flop, I don't think you need to bet all your hand or all your range. So this would be one of the best hands to not bet with, right? You have like 2 undercards and no backcard. You know what's called, Jeff? When you have like 2 undercards to the board and you put some chips on it?
What's that?
And the submarine.
Submarine?
The submarine, yeah. I learned that last year. The guy, I think I played a submarine.
Is a parasite under a microscope. So is this, and so is this. Many believe that parasites are physical manifestations of demons in the spirit realm. In scripture, Jesus cast the demons into the herd of pigs, and then they jumped into the ocean. As we all know, pork is notorious for being loaded with parasites. I have seen people pour something acidic on a pork chop, and it will draw out actual worms, and they come out and wiggle out the pork chops. Many people who undergo parasite cleanses also end up having a spiritual awakening. This is very common. And this is because when you deworm, you literally change the frequency of your body, and you make it inhospitable to parasites that thrive in a low frequency environment. And when you raise the frequency,
I think I'll try to change internet because it's very tough for me to follow that right now. Just take like 2 buttons.
Pin as we go get it moving here. Ace 9 opening, beat binder 9-10 off. Enough hand to continue here. We go. Keyword. Number 1 of 3. $2 GG ticket I'm typing in for you guys. The GGW, so space online, space millionaires. Again, that did he just rebet the 9-10?
He did, man.
Wow.
Yeah, this is interesting because this is a spot that you can't get flatted, and so having some playability there is good. I think it works. But yeah, we are not used to see this type of thing, and everybody is showing us why he's being fierce. This should work. I think my connection is better now that they changed the trap. So,
well, I'm putting that first giveaway in. It is going to be keyword number 1 of 3. $50 GG ticket is GGWSOP space online space poker space millionaires. And then enter your GG Poker username. That is in the chat. That is underway. Good luck, boa sorte out there, all the Brazilians. You guys know what time it is. It is giveaway time. And speaking of that, Marcelo Aziz, you know that man. He took second from 4.6 million off of a 3-roll ticket. So imagine we can do a 50. We've seen some crazy spins recently as we got a little action here. Top 2 versus bottom end open-ended, but it is in position, Jack Risuda, and Ole going to come out betting.
yeah, you do see this type of betting in this dynamic, but usually when the stakes are the other way around. So I'm a bit surprised with all these leads. I wasn't expecting. It's working since Jans have good hand to call with, and now it's good for this size especially. I don't know. It seemed a little bit too weird for me. All this sizing, like this turn size, doesn't make a lot of sense for me because like when you go this big, you don't want to go this big with a hand like eight six suited. So you're narrowing your range too much. But yeah, he did have a good hand, so and he did manage Jans to fold an open ended. It's never bad.
It's interesting, Jack 8 off calling. It is the best hand and now the best draw and has a blocker to Jack 10. And kind of realizing too, Jan's going to have some completely airball hands, and he's doing okay against. And that's the case. Does see a check. See if he's able to get to the river here. 9-3 off. Just decided not to shell. Maybe delayed c-bet or maybe a give up. Let's see. It does kind of give up here.
I think it's a give up because the way the ranges are built here. Binder has a lot of incentive to bet a lot in position. So when he doesn't bet, I think Jan's like, that's a little bit weird. So I think he's not gonna bluff. But I don't know, let's see. He does have a lot of King X, Queen X as well. But I think he doesn't want to have the 9, you know. I think 9 is an important part of the binder's folding river range. Does go for the bad pot, yeah.
Tell you what, it's not an impossibility for him to call his play.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. For sure, it's not. And yes, Jans took his time there, but he find the bluff. Nice. Well done.
Saw this spot earlier where Forrest flatting got squeezed, almost the same open and flat. This time he does flat again. No one gets in the way, and he's got himself a winning hand. If he can get the river 8-3-6, rainbow 8-10 suited, no backdoor, immediate backdoor flush. So curious if he just wants to take a stab here or try to be done. I think he does want to stab. He does. And Forrest now.
Yeah, you have 12. You have like A6-3. You do have the backdoor. You can be winning the hand. You can always back and forth. You have position. All the betting flop. Man, it's it seems so over. Like, he doesn't have the gut shot. Never mind the gut shots. That it's good enough, and he doesn't block the hearts and the diamonds, and now he unblocks the clubs as well, right? So I think he's gonna go for it with his hand, unblocking clubs. I think he just got himself in the position that he must bluff this. He must bluff. I think it would be a mistake not to. I mean, for sure, be a mistake not to bluff this hand. This hand is built for it. Now this is bad. Well, that's sorry, but you can't do that. Like, you are unblocking absolutely everything on the river. You got yourself there with 10 high in a spot that you are open. Every ace X from your opponent is a tough hero call. Your opponent doesn't have really a 6. It's not likely to have a 6. And you are also unlocking every single buzzed flush draw. Like, what are if you're not bluffed there? No. Like, if you're not bluffing there, I'm not sure if your third bet, no, third bet could still be good. But no, just wow. And now it's kind of get punished for not bluffing, you know.
That deuce got a chance. He's got a deuce and a deuce only. Would be pretty nasty, but there is one river to come.
It's a heart.
Not a deuce. I mean, so that is GG. And Ole, again, just give him all his flowers constantly today. Maybe there, that one spot. He did chop a few when he was dominating. Could have been a different story, but he'll take 200K going his way. One of the all-time greats. Just won a bracelet in Prague, and we are going to pick the winner of that $50 ticket as we'll go three-handed. And Ole, no one's going to cry for him for another 200K on the resume. Another great showing, and he is showing us again, time and time again, why he's so good in dominance. As we will see Kings stepping into it. The first $50 winner is a sec.
Wow.
Whoa. Hello.
And the Kings also folded. And Pascal just had Kings the last hand, the previous hand as well.
I'll tell you what. This all of a sudden, you were the benefit. You were saying Pascal only. Now we got one of us is going to win. It's not going to be a chop. We got 14 mil, 8 mil. This could shift very quickly. This is nasty work. Three-handed as I'm about to pick the first winner. Hit the thumbs up. Be subscribed. 2,000 on. Jan's running out of clock. He can't believe it. He gets a real hand. It's three-handed. He's thinking about his trap, and he's got Pascal here. And this is insane. He's going to click it. Pascal, what a spot. What a spot. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Can he still click it? He might click it back 3 dots. No, he just went for it. Yeah, I think it's fine.
It is aces to kings, as cool as it gets. He still covers. The spades are covered as well. Needs a 3 of 5, and just one time. He needs a king. There's only one in the deck. 16 million. It is a club, and it is slow. But that is a jack. I didn't see which king was gone. I don't know if it was what club are available or not, but there it is. And the winner of the first giveaway, Mills 29, $50 ticket coming your way. And could this be Pascal's first win? Jan with 5 and Mr. Binder with 2. This would be his first. The stack, 93 million earnings, going to shove the ace 5. He can taste it. All right, that is winner number 1. Second giveaway coming up is going to be. I'll get that for you guys. Wow. Pascal, 16 mil. Looks good. Maybe the most chips he's ever had. He hasn't won. He's got 16 million. Probably is the most chips he's had in this tournament. And he's played a lot and has a lot of great results. Just no win. Ole with 32 final tables, by the way. Just crazy in this format. So, all right, here we go. Keyword. This is giveaway number 2 of 3. $50 ticket. Here we go. Keyword. Kelvin Kerber for the keyword. Gigi, give us a piece. Ace Kelvin Kerber, and then insert your poker username. If you don't have a GG account, I know that's possible. Maybe a jurisdiction doesn't allow. Gift it to a friend. Ask a friend. Pick one. I'm sure you know someone that has a GG account. If you're here watching, 374 thumbs up. 2,000 are watching. Let's see who's going to finish it off. 8-5 bluffing into trips. That's not the best start for this 3-gamer.
Yeah, he has a decent hand to bet to it. Binder went for the raise there, trying to get more value from the six. The thing is, I think six is a six. Pascal would mostly check back, so it's hard to get value from it. I don't think he should continue with this 8-5 here.
Much harder than in other games because like where you can lose like 3,000 NGs just like easily. What are you gonna do? It's like 3,000 NGs just in a week or even like much faster. And you will and like you can show like a really nice a nice game like and you could play even a game and lose like few thousand NGs. Oh, very well played, George. Very well played. So we are bottling here into 15. And there I can limp over limp or I want to raise. So this raise it is quite dicey, but I want to build the pot against the big stack. Now we have effective stacks like 150 entities. And I want to put more money in position against him, but not in this case. I think that would be too much because like I raise it, someone jumps, I have to call. A7 suited, that's not a great hand. Oh, he should not buy that and get a fold. So like in this case, when you 5-way, you have to play only like straight. I mean, straight draws or that style, like two pairs. That was a huge sizing, like. So we have to avoid it. And we avoided. Приведу успехи. Дякую, Павло. My bad. Idol is just I stand when I see rice in your play. I'm from Philippines and we eat rice from sunrise till sunset. All right, get you. Yeah, I love rice. Our family loves rice. We lived in Asia like for 3 years, and after buckwheat, the second would be rice for us. My kids they eat rice with soy sauce from like as you said from sunrise from like first few years I think I don't remember when my son arrived to Thailand when he was 3 months old. Hi Dennis, do you have any influence in how GG is streaming their GG Million final table? I'm not sure, but I can listen and maybe I can share this information. I can understand why they make the table super small on the stream. This is on Twitch, on YouTube, you will find the big table. I don't know. Maybe that's good for like I don't know. I don't know the reason, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. But you can check the YouTube. On YouTube, you will find the full screen mode. here, right? Yeah, place play 23 and we have 24 people. And right. Check raise. Yeah, it is a good transfer against my range, but this sizing, I think I just call. And maybe 2.2, 12. So, a 40 in a row. Welcome, bro. It's like it is hard to describe it, the range properly. Let's about that. Yeah, that's tough, right? With this stream. Thank you for your advice on how to become a professional poker player. I live in Vietnam and my country. Yeah, earning 300 miles. Now I got you. Yeah, I got you. I understand what you're talking about. Like a salary, it's like our salary, $300 per month. I know. So it is a different situation. It is even worse than I had. Because like, yeah, I could have like $500 salary there. All right, just give me a moment here and there, and maybe we can speak about that. This end is too strong, but this turn is too good for him. So 9-6, 9-10. I still have equity, good equity. This is short deck, my friends. So that's not like a long back. My equity is just like crazy. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna call. I'm not raising it. Phew. I got very lucky. I mean, I got unlucky that I hit, but I get very lucky that I didn't lose. May I ask you? No, I'm in Canada. In Canada, bro. How are you? You can play GG Poker from US. We are Ukrainians. We are in unique circumstances, so that's why. Not many countries being personally occupied by their neighbors, so you have to understand that. Queen. What a bad day. So we're still in the bubble here. Or no? Okay, we're already in the money. So we're gonna raise bigger. All right, we have interesting hand here. I think we like that's very hard because those stacks are mixed. I'm gonna go for at least 66. maybe like in 50 candies, you just like straight jam over bad jam all pots. So straight it is 7-8 here. He has queen 10 off suited 12 combos, suited probably, I'm not sure. And there's some ace 8. Oh, we're gonna check that. Ace 8, ace 7. Alright, that's great. That's just like the best outcome. We just jam it. And never bad, nothing else. We just rip it. We have bad jack. He might have some showdown or just draws. So we just targeting his showdown. Like Jack X. Jack X would never fold it. We just overbad jam there. How long will you be staying in Thailand? Why you decide that I will be in Thailand? I lived in Thailand for 3 years in my life. But last time that was 16 months. We spent 16 months there. В кінці 25-го року був в тебе на стрімі, ти порадив ставити там, де вигідно. 26 рік я стартанув свою пригоду з $20. Зараз маю банкрот біля 2000. Я дуже добре позаймався з AI і плавно зростає премія. У планах, звісно, робити комфортний банкрот, щоб брати B2050. Ну, я радий, що в тебе вийшло, але будь обережний дуже. І головне, я дам тобі головну пораду і сподіваюся, ти будеш сильно досуватися. Не витрачай гроші. Просто це, типу, найважливіше взагалі, що колись тобі хтось радив в покері. В жодному разі не витрачай гроші. Кожного разу, коли ти хочеш витратити гроші, подумай, що ти програв $1000. Тому що, наприклад, в тебе зараз $2000 банкрот. Якщо ти витратиш, наприклад, $200, то ти програв $1000 через 3 місяці, через 5 місяців. Тому що ти втрачаєш можливість далі грати. Це умовні цифри. Але це дуже важливо. Це прям дуже важливо. Це помилка всіх, майже всіх. Дуже, якщо ти зможеш якомога менше витрачати гроші, з тебе все вийде значно повніше і краще. Ну і звісно, теорія. Не тільки з AI, треба просто думати постійно. Постійно думати. Це дуже важливий скіл. Okay, great. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm no limit hold'em rank, but I struggle to not play 6+. Yeah, I understand. If you're talking about gambling problems, like short deck, it is a gambling thing. I don't know. Should I fold or that? No. Anyway, I don't know what is that like. I'm not folding. That's actually the worst law for it. Про челендж питали. Так, я ж його завершив. Завершив, але по часу. Пройшло 100 днів. У мене є інформація про це в Телеграмі і в Інстаграмі. Я можу тобі в Інстаграм скинути. So that link pod cut off button. Like theoretically, check could be a good thing there. I don't like potato. I can eat it, mashed potato. I don't like fries at all. I don't like this breakfast potato, American style. They just like make me nervous. So we have to fold here. So like 2 weak powers and short deck on this structure would be not good. Against straight draw plus big, like straight draw, we have like around around 44%. It just like depends what kind of. But like there is a big stack on the like, and he has bigger two-person sets here, so we just call him. That's what you have to do in Showtime. So what we do here, that's very interesting question, Dennis. That's, I don't know, honestly. Because, like, maybe we just flat it. No, we jam it. We jam it. No. No flats, bro. No flats. So, like, there is a 16, 23, 15, 10, some pressure. That's a jam, bro. Чому не можу грати з сложно? Не знаю. So my first idea was to flat because, I don't know, just instincts if you want to. And see my instincts, they're good. But not so good as that jam. Only we crack the aces. Because theoretically it is a jam always, but like, I had a bad feeling about that. See? What do you think about the 5 doors final stage bounty hunters? Does it will? What do you mean? It will. So like you earn like in general I think 50 cents from tournament like that, or maybe $1. You guys have to understand. You just watch the video, 3 minutes video, to understand that you should not think about big winnings. I mean, if you think about playing professionally, if you think about like having fun, you definitely have to think about big mystery bounties, big winnings. But if you want to have joy, right? But if you want to earn money, you have to think in different way. You have to change your approach. You have to change the angle. You can't think like that. Oh, this tournament I'm gonna play because there is a huge prize for the first place. You should not think like that. You should not even expect that you're gonna win anything. You should understand that, like, if you play a $5 tournament and your ROI, let's say 20%, you're making $1 per tournament. That's all. Doesn't matter. You win $10,000 or you lost $5. You made $1. That's how it works. Do you go to Thailand to play poker? No. I love Thailand very much, and I would be happy to come back in the future just to spend a few months. But I don't want to play poker in Thailand. I want to chill in Thailand. Thailand is a great country. I would play poker there. But I would never play poker somewhere. I play real poker sometimes, but this is only WSOP events in Vegas and Bahamas. Some events here in Canada I could play because, like, for example, in Calgary I played like 3 times I think because my friends go there, and that's really nice, you know, like just like something like 90 minutes flight from here. So very interesting situation here. He should not bat that at all because like Button has a lot of 6x. I'm not gonna check raise that for sure. Because like when he bats big here, what he represents exactly 6x or whatever, like, and I attack it. He can theoretically it is bad. It is bad. But of course, yeah, as you can see, he's whatever. All right. I'm just trying to explain what is going on here, but maybe I should not. Hey, dudes, maybe we have to raise that now. Here we can check raise somehow. I don't know how, but we can check raise them. I mean, like I'm representing something really thin, but I will do that. I mean, this hand just like amazing hand. You have like 5 high. You have gut shot. You have run of flush.
Low, low, low. Fuck off. Give it king. Fuck off.
He ashamed himself for flaunting that beautiful head of hair in front of KB. I feel like that guy's handsome. What's his name? Destin 60. He's a handsome guy.
The guy at the beginning.
Yeah, the guy who fell off his bike. Even if he fell off his bike, he still looks handsome. Thank you for Katerina the Greek. You know it's a fake picture, but I'll take the $20.
Her hair's not too bad either.
Yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. But we know that other guy's real because we see him. We don't know who Katerina the Greek is. We need to see her in the flesh, or at least in
The
a video.
internet's really, it's fucking crazy, man. Like, YouTube shorts of these broads, like, it's unbelievable. Once you click on one, then you start getting more and more and more.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
unreal.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Crazy. No, it's crazy. You watch one thing, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, you want 50,000?"
Yep. And I keep clicking on them, and it's more and more and more. These broads in these tight dresses, putting on their fucking Louboutins. What is that? What they are? Those heels?
I'm still thinking about that Destin 60s hair. And Ethan Rouse butt cheeks.
Oh.
Butt cheeks, you can't unsee them. But they're not even his.
No, they're not, but they were hideous, and I just connected the dots.
Wait, yup, literally tested. How do you test gray matter? How do you test gray matter and then you test it later? It doesn't make any sense. From doing a gratitude list. I mean, it sounds like utter bullshit.
It's like, do you have to wait until they become a cadaver to test the gray matter?
I would like to apologize to you for calling you a dog fucker.
If you list 3 things you're grateful every evening and write 2 sentences, how about if you write 1 sentence and write 2 sentences about each thing on the list, your gray matter volume? So these people, for how long you have to do it? In 8 weeks, every day they have to write 3 things, and then they tested the gray matter before and after. And the cortisol levels are probably easier to test. I don't know how you test gray matter. You put their head on a scale. I mean, people are insane. The shit I'm supposed to believe over here. I feel like I went to Vegas. How presumptuous that I'm referring to you. Who? A-Track? Got my rods ticks today, round 2, as our comic said. Got my rods ticks today. Who's the rods? That's a band? Rod Stewart? Teacher Tim, who are the rods?
It's Rod. He's talking about Rod.
Oh, Rodney's. That's how we're
You're not wrong on Rod Stewart.
Wait, you're too busy
Peter Ryan cutting out Rodney's. Why I gotta figure out all these super chats?
Damn character limit at the $2 level.
No, he had room. Look, he's got room. He could have just, he had room after sad. He could have just not used a period. I don't need a period. I know when it's over.
Yeah, he didn't have to shit on me. He could have rolled Rodney's.
No, I like him shitting on me, but I don't want. I've got no spine. I've got by Gilly's Crush. Now, what song is that? Shattered?
Oh. Shoo-doo, bet.
What makes you feel? I don't even want to be mean to him, but do you feel like you're being cucked, Carmix, and you feel like what made you feel more like a man when you were single, living in a steel shack, or now that you live with a lady, but you're being told what to do, presumably?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm being told what to do up and down the river.
Are you allowed to order from the? Are you allowed to? When you go out to eat, does Gilly order for you? And can you order from the non-kid section?
Chicken tenders is all I'm allowed. So yeah, no.
Chicken tenders hit the spot.
They were.
I try to get the kids meal from time to time, even when I'm by myself.
Comics sideburns, they look like chicken tenders.
Kinda. There's a fried chicken consistency to my hair.
You want some Burger King? What are they called? Chicken.
Chicken fingers.
What's so funny about his stream cap? He goes bananas for like an hour, and then he puts on the soothing music and starts talking real like calm and shit. Man. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is weird to yell at people and all of a sudden do a peaceful read for a little while. It's kind of strange, but
dude, I'll tell you, man. You know, in the beginning, I'm not a big fan of music, but I mean, your stream is fucking, it's hilarious.
Well, thank you, Team Sir Tim. I appreciate it.
Really, it's something different. It's entertaining, man.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be a ball washer, but I'm a fan.
I appreciate it, Team Sir Tim. Thank you. And yeah, it's a wild ass show. That's for sure. It's crazy. It don't make sense most of the time.
I'm also, that one song is always dedicated to me. So.
Hot shot.
These super tips keep coming in. This is, I have a face like a dropped cake. I look like a depressed soul from anonymous. My computer just crashed. I had to reset the Wi-Fi. You there?
Yep, you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know if someone's got hold of this, but my computer, I just had to reset everything. Thanks for coming back. Sorry about that.
Completely dumbfounded.
Yeah, I'm completely dumbfounded. I can't do this by myself anymore. I need an intern. An intern needs an intern. So I apologize, everybody, but I guess it's so funny because I just wanted to ask you a poignant question and then it crashed. So I really do think someone hacked into my thing because all the
That's my boyfriend's truck, eh? He don't give a fuck if I'm smoking in it either. Oh my god, I thought he was dead. And I got his debit card too. What time is it? Should we go to the liquor store? Who's fucking on the go today? I don't know what's going on with my cat review. He fucking stinks. And I'm getting bored of the ferrets. How long do they live? Oh, look on there. That's Juanita. Her husband died. And I think it was a bad tooth. I told Martina she can go fuck herself. I've just been looking on Marketplace and I found a sugar glider. You ever hear of them? $2,200. It's in Montreal. There's not a fucking tattoo shop around here. I'll get the Maritime bus as far as it'll go and then I'll fucking hitchhike to pick him up because he's precious. I'm fucking on empty. Truck saying, feed me. So I guess we'll get gas. It's like, well, DMX is hot, right? Like he got the body. That's Larry. I miss G Eunice. We should watch Get Rich or Die Trying. I got that on DVD and Blu-ray. I'm trying, man.
I had a bunch here. Let's see. You have a face like
this is my boy.
Super dip.
With Anthony Cumia, Anonymous, both carry answer this honestly. And if you were the one reading the questions that Jackie and Freddie wrote for Stuttering John, would you be able to? Oh, these are old. So yeah, someone's gotten into my system.
I don't see them on my screen, so it's on your screen.
Well, you know, I can't. I don't even know what. Somehow or another, it's either the super tips or someone got into my. I'm on EVLux now. I'm not a fan of that name. I usually do StreamYard, but it's really hard to get super tips on StreamYard, so I converted, much like you. I converted to EVLux.
So him using super tips is ridiculous because I don't think it's. I think you need to be pretty computer literate, or at least have somebody help you. And again, he doesn't make any money probably, so why don't you just use super chats?
Yeah, he bypassed the whole thing. It's like he went right to super tips. He didn't get, super chat.
Yeah, but he's got to be monetized.
No, he wasn't monetized.
Hasn't he been on YouTube forever? How is he not monetized?
No. He's not monetized.
But it is. I am not able to see comments, and the super tips are not like if I put a super tip up, it takes you. That's what happens, and that doesn't happen. It didn't happen. The last show I did, which was
that's a terrible commercial for super tips. When I put super tips up, I can't see anything. I'm blinded.
a day ago, and it didn't happen at all. So I don't know if someone actually got it, because there is a guy by the name of Cardiff X that somehow or another hates my guts, and
can't even get his name right.
Someone told him I said some shit about him, and I didn't, and now he's looking for attention. So he's like on a daily basis.
That's what you said about him.
I think he's got it up with that.
People just say that about him. He's looking for attention.
On a daily basis, he's saying shit. Someone told him I said some shit about him, and I didn't, and now he's looking for attention. So he's like on a daily basis, he's saying shit. Somebody, one of the last comments says that he said he was going to hijack your show today. So I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know what happened. There's another person here that says I hacked you, and I'm taking your super tips too. Karmic.
I got a bridge I want to sell this guy.
The stolen cars, and they would go up on cinder blocks, the tires would come off, the engine would come out, the seats would come out, it'd be a shell, and then they'd crush it. And I didn't realize that.
1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now they're getting to this Richie guy. They're like, now they're going to steal his super tips. We're going to steal everything from you too if you don't get off the show. Take him off the screen.
The junkyard was owned by the Barry family.
Who's that? Spock or Bruce Lee?
They were kidding around, there was St. Joseph's by the Sea in Staten Island, and we were Nazareth by the junkyard. But Richie's guys, I look at that cool picture of Spock. I hacked you, taking your super tips from you. That's Karmic. Richie put the headband on. We got that one.
I think the draft is something that you can do better than everybody else's because your relationships with all the people that are actually making the decisions in so many different places. You're not necessarily an insider full time, but you certainly could if you needed to be. And when it comes to the draft, you have an ability to be able to acquire thoughts and opinions from around places and kind of project what's possible. You put out 2 of them. One was last week, and then one is like day before draft or 2 days before the draft, whatever it is. Since then, since your first mock draft that you put out, odds have changed entirely. April 7th is when Schrags put out his mock draft, and the big conversation was David Bailey at 2 instead of Arvell Reese because the picture of Arvell Reese going around the thing was so big. Whatever the case, you came out and were like, wait a minute, though. David Bailey can play right now. This is what they're looking for. Maybe he goes at number 2 from what I'm hearing. Odds change on sports books. You literally do have motion, I believe is what people would say. Now, since you released that until now, what have you learned? And how different do you think it's going to be inevitably when you put out the final projected mock draft, which you have been more accurate than everybody else has been for the last couple of years?
Well, thank you for all of that. And the process I go through is I collect as much information as I can, put out a mock draft, and then that mock draft informs the conversations that I have for the next 2 weeks. So what you're looking at on the screen is from a week ago. You could tear it up. I mean, honestly, you could tear it up. The amount of feedback that I've gotten saying this guy's too high, this guy's too low, they're not doing that. And then from teams directly saying, appreciate the thought process, but that's probably not the direction we're going. A couple things I would note here. Bailey, I will back up what I said. I believe Bailey is still the target number 2 for the Jets. It's the production score. A 98 production score out of 100. He had arguably the greatest college football pass rushing season we have seen, with maybe the exception of Myles Garrett, 2017, Texas A&M, and Aiden Hutchinson a few years back from Michigan. But this cat right here led the nation in sacks, was second in tackles for a loss, had 3 pass breakups, started 14 games. Everyone seems to think that if you are building a team right now, you need to hit it right on the fairway, you need a guy who's going to produce. It is David Bailey, and that seems to be the Jets at 2. 3, Cardinals gets interesting. I have the other choice, Reese, but this could also very well be Jeremiah Love, or if they want to reach a little bit, the offensive lineman, Francis Mauigoa, CC Mauigoa out of Miami. Those are the 3 players that I'm told. Bailey, Reese, Combo, whoever doesn't go to the Jets, Jeremiah Love, or at 3, the offensive lineman out of Miami. 4 is fascinating with the Titans. Fascinating. Because the expectation is Jeremiah Love will be on the board. The more intel I get, you look at these Robert Saleh coach teams and what they are known for. Waves of pass rushers, and they've always had a solid middle linebacker, whether it be C.J. Mosley with the Jets or Fred Warner with the 49ers. Always a guy. So that's where the Sonny Styles part of it now comes in. These are the conversations that are being had. I'll wrap with this. 2 names to watch. I think April 17th might be the most important day of this draft process. That is Jordan Tyson's full workout that he's going to be doing for scouts. April 17th in a couple days. He's going to work out. He's going to run. He's going to do drills. And that's the real opportunity because right now he is viewed as the biggest wild card in the first round. And that if you just watch the tape, there's no one better. That includes Carnell Tate. There is nobody better than this guy right here. However, MCL, ACL, collarbone, and now hamstring. What sort of health is he in? Because there's a good chance this guy, if he clears all, is top 10. But if he doesn't, suddenly there are other receivers who have produced more, and that's Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, even Omar Cooper, who could leap him in the pecking order if teams aren't comfortable about his health. And the last one, Caleb Downs. I had him going 12 to the Cowboys. I've been told by numerous teams there is no chance in bloody hell that Caleb Downs will be around at 12 overall. So that's one to put there. He is likely going before 12, which I originally had him going to Dallas. I've said a lot, Pat. The floor is yours.
No, that was phenomenal. AJ actually has a follow-up because a lot of your storylines there are about the Ohio State Buckeyes. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, sure. As far as Caleb Downs, I've heard conflicting reports. I feel like some people claim there's a chance he may fall just because people have devalued the safety position and don't want to draft people that high. So you're saying it's pretty much a lock. He's not going to be there at 12 even, so going top 10 most likely?
Again, it's all fluid, but the big feedback I got from teams was that, yes, positionally, a safety you wouldn't take in the top 5 or the top 10. It just doesn't make sense to do so because they don't make the same money on the free agent market and you want to get the most value for your pick. But with the lack of blue chip prospects in this draft, and I really only have 4, I have Mendoza as a blue chipper, and from what I'm told, it's 3 positions that are not positions that are usually highly paid. It's a running back in Love, it's an off-the-ball linebacker in Styles, and it's a safety in Downs. You're a team in the top 10. Do you reach for an offensive lineman? Do you reach for a wide receiver? Do you reach for a corner? Or do you hit it right on the fairway and say, you know what? We wake up Friday morning, we got Caleb Downs, we have an outstanding football player to our team, and we are way better than we were yesterday if we take this guy.
Everybody we know and respect about football around Caleb Downs, since the first day they saw him, say he's a Hall of Famer. So it's like, you're drafting a Hall of Famer, if everybody around him says this guy, Matt Patricia now, who's an NFL D4, Nick Saban, he has said obviously he's been coaching, but everybody basically has been like, since this kid's 17 years old, he's an NFL football player.
And I wonder how, I guess, football is being played now is going to change how decision makers see these positions, because, you know, it was an explosion of 11 personnel, a bunch of 3 wide receiver sets a few years ago. Then last year kind of got back to multiple tight ends, extra line. So now that kind of bumps the value of an off-ball linebacker or safety. You know, Nick Imawari, he played a huge role for Seattle. He was a second-round pick. The Eagles, they got Cooper DeJean. He's been great with an off. So I'm very interested to see how that changes things with these positions.
What's interesting, and Deba, you're so spot on with this. You can use him in a variety of ways. Matt Patricia was on your show, of course. I had him on my show, The Schrager Hour, and he said this: the second you draft Caleb Downs, he becomes the smartest player on your defense, and he becomes the face of your franchise. I'm like, that's real hyperbole right there. There are a lot of guys like, no, you don't get it. For 5 years, this guy has been a pro, and he's done everything the right way. So positional value, if they're a free agent in 4 years, that's something different than who makes us better. I would add this: if Caleb Downs does go, that bumps up the other 2 safeties in this draft, where suddenly we have never had this, a safety run in the first round of a draft. But an Oregon Duck, that guy can go as high as 10, 11, 12. And then you've got the Toledo kid, McNeil Warren, who everyone likes. He could go top 15. So if you take Caleb Downs off the board and you're like, I just want a real football player, I want a guy that's going to help us tomorrow, 2 of the best overall players besides Caleb Downs are safeties as well. And we would never in a million years in the last, my entire career, we would never have 3 safeties taken in the top 15. We might see that this year.
Okay, let's move from safety and stay in the secondary. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, in your opinion, who's the first cornerback off the board? You know, Delane out of LSU, and then you got McCoy out of Tennessee, who's showing he's healthy. I've heard kind of rumblings that he may even sneak up and be the first guy off the board. What are you hearing as far as the first cornerback off the board when the draft comes?
No corner has had a better season than Jermod McCoy's 2024. He has the serious injury, January 2025, full year back. Didn't run at the combine. That is alarming. You had a full 11 months to recover, then you had 2 months to prep for the draft. Did not run at the combine. Did the pro day, ran the 40 fine, but I'm told the positional drills by some weren't ideal. That to me is a red flag, and is a medical red flag. But if you are talking about film, 2024, it's better than anything Delane's put on film. And then the physicality, the length, the size. McCoy is apparently far more built for that, the hawking corner that everyone covets than Delane. But I would think it goes LSU 1, Tennessee 2 with a red flag. You have to be willing to take a risk on the health. And then the third guy, surprisingly, might be a player that not a lot of people have. The San Diego State guy, Chris Johnson, might be now up on the boards because he's had an outstanding pre-draft process. And those might be your 3 first-round corners.
Chris Johnson plus 7,500 right now at DraftKings to be the first corner selected. Good call by you. You went through the list there with McCoy and Delane. D'Angelo Pons kind of floating down. D'Angelo Pons.
All he does is make big plays in big games. I have no problem with D'Angelo Pons going that high.
And thumps people.
Yeah.
I mean,
he flew, too. He threw that thing with low 4-3. Yeah, like 4-3-1 or something.
Yeah,
that'll work.
I liked watching him play vertical. He was spectacular. Okay, let's pivot away from the secondary and let's try to figure out who's going to be popping up the most. Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, Trace, when it comes to all the positions, which couple would you say are the deepest? It felt like the tight ends had a great day at the combine here in India a month or so ago. I've heard O-line, D-line are kind of the 2 strongest. What is your read on it? And you think we'll get a lot of those ones in the back half of the first round?
Yeah, I think we're going to get a wide receiver run in the first half of it. So the 6 names that I would look at, and maybe not all 6 go, But I think once one goes, they're all going to go flying off because that's a position of need. And I think with the wide receiver spot.
Forget the name of the British diplomat, but he was a senior fellow, well respected, and he was just up front saying, "Look, Kushner and Witkoff, those are Mossad assets. They're working for Israeli intelligence. They're not working for America. They're working for Israel, even though they have American citizenship."
Donald Trump sent J.D. Vance, Jared Kushner, and Witkoff, his former real estate business partner, over to Iran to negotiate a peace deal.
And they had a Three Stooges like adventure.
Now, yes. Now the problem is, Kushner and Witkoff are working. They're Mossad. They're working for Israel. They're not working for the United States. And we all know Israel does not want the war to stop. They don't want a peace deal. And J.D. Vance is taking phone calls. He's directly reporting to Benjamin Netanyahu and taking calls directly from Bibi Netanyahu. So he's also compromised by Bibi. And so they're all working against the United States' interests, all of them. And so that's why they walked away from a peace deal, which would benefit who? The United States and the rest of the world. So breaking, Iranian state TV revealed the reasons for the failure of the talks with the United States. The U.S. tried to achieve at the negotiating table what it could not achieve through war. The Americans demanded that Iran hand over their enriched uranium and open the Strait of Hormuz without recognizing Iran's sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has decided to defend its national interests by military means, and they're doing it. And even Alex Jones has turned on at Jared Kushner and Witkoff. He says Iran's diplomacy corps say that Netanyahu and Kushner sabotaged the peace deal at the 11th hour. Pay close attention to the expression of Jared Kushner's face. He is extremely happy. This is what Alex Jones is saying. And here's what he tweets out. So watch his face. And he looks extremely happy, according to Alex Jones. He does look extremely happy. So that's what Alex Jones tweeted out. And here's what actually happened. This is here's a CIA analyst, former CIA analyst on Andrew Napolitano's show today. And this is what he got from his inside info on what actually happened.
But you have some thoughts from the inside as to what happened. Yeah. One person I was in communication with just said that the basic problem was that Witkoff and Kushner, they were the ones putting the checks on J.D. Vance. If Vance had been allowed to just do the negotiations, we actually probably would have had an agreement. Vance was not the one pushing the whole nuclear nonsense. Because, again, we go back to the logic and consistency of what Trump is saying or not saying. And so we went from obliterating, my understanding of the word obliterating means completely destroyed Iran's nuclear capability with Midnight Hammer last June. And by God, anybody who suggested that there was any remnant left over and it wasn't successful, they got ousted. This has happened to the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency. So we start with that to now, oh my God, they're refusing to give up their quest for a nuclear weapon. Well, they don't have one. I thought you obliterated. So how could they have one? So, but that came directly from Israel. I mean, Israel is calling the shots on this. Trump is not vacillating one iota from that party line. And it was I forget the name of the British diplomat, but he was a senior fellow, well respected. And he was just up front saying, look, Kushner and Witkoff, those are Mossad assets. They're working for Israeli intelligence. They're not working for America. They're working for Israel, even though they have American citizenship. And this is where the other problem is now developing with among the electorate. That
Golfer Invitational gets underway tonight. And no, I'm not talking about the in-season tournament. Of course, it's the play-in tournament, which everyone just speaks so highly of. And I am going to get you dialed in on what to watch for in these games. But first, shout out to a new proud partner of Scap Attack, Prize Picks, for sponsoring the channel and this video. And yes, it is that time yet again for the play-in tournament. One of the latest moronic incarnations of Commissioner Adam Silver, which, as I mentioned previously, everyone just seems to love, including LeBron James.
Whatever that thing is, whoever came up with that need to be fired.
James, of course, who seems to be in this thing almost every single year. He, of course, isn't this season. The first time this thing appeared was all the way back, if you remember, in the 2020 NBA season, after nearly a 5 full month hiatus following a certain pesky global pandemic.
What?
And yes, I did say almost 5 full months. Remember, the season was suspended in March 11th, and it didn't return until July 30th. And people still actually count that banner as something for LeBron James, something other than that asterisk-laden, pathetic little preseason tournament in the bubble disguised as an NBA championship. You would think that when the NBA finally got back to normal, that this play-in tournament would also disappear, but we have not been that lucky, unfortunately, because it is now 2026, and this thing is still here. And we have 2 games on tap tonight, that being the Heat and the Hornets, followed by the Suns and the Blazers, and in the ongoing infinite wisdom of the NBA, for whatever reason, one of these games is an elimination game, while the other is not. More on that in a moment, but first, many thanks to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app, and it is very easy to use. You just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. Tonight, I am all about that 3. The link in the description. And look, as I mentioned previously, one of these games is an elimination game, while the other is not. The first game in the East is an elimination game. It pits the 9 and the 10 seeds. And in case you don't know the format of this thing, the play-in tournament, we've got the 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds who are all participating in this. The 7 plays the 8. The winner of that game becomes the 7. But for the loser of that game, they are not eliminated. They will get another crack at playing their way into the actual playoffs against the winner of the 9-10 game. I don't know. I have no idea why the NBA wouldn't have just put both 7 and 8s on one day and both 9-10s on one day. But that, again, is not the direction that they went. The 9v10 is going to be played in the Eastern Conference, where the number 9 seeded Charlotte Hornets will be hosting the Miami Heat, the 10 seed. And the winner, again, doesn't get into the playoffs, but they do move on with an opportunity to play their way in the next game. While the loser of this one, well, they just go 1, 2, 3 Cancun and ferry themselves off to the draft lottery. And look, the Charlotte Hornets are the home team in this one. They are the 9 seed, and they have been one of the very best teams in the entire league following the All-Star break. I talk a lot about net rating on this channel, and the Charlotte Hornets have the 2nd best net rating in the NBA following the All-Star game in 27 games of sample size for them over that time. They are plus 11.1 net rating, which is 2nd best behind only the San Antonio Spurs and just above the Oklahoma City Thunder. And in the first 44 games of this season, the Hornets were only 16 and 28, which is approximately a 30-win pacing for the entire season. But in the 38 games that would follow since then, they are 28 and 10 over that span of time, which paces them for a 60-win season. I personally struggle to recall a team with 2 drastic differences over that span of time. Like one different team altogether in the first half and a completely much better different team in the second half. it's very difficult for me to envision a scenario tonight in which the Charlotte Hornets are heading to the draft lottery instead of awaiting the winner of the 7-8, which in this instance in the Eastern Conference side of things will be the Philadelphia 76ers and the Orlando Magic. In fact, I kind of like the Charlotte Hornets to play their way in to win 2 games and play their way into the 8. But we will have to wait and see for the outcome tonight. Again, the loser is eliminated. Not the case on the other side in the Western Conference, where the 7 and 8 seeds are playing each other tonight. That being the Phoenix Suns in the 7 and the Portland Trail Blazers in the 8. A battle of 2 overachievers, 2 teams that weren't supposed to be here. And in an era defined by, load management, players sitting out, and most recently, specifically this year, more egregiously maybe than ever, tanking. And during this season, the Phoenix Suns and Portland Trail Blazers both have come out, played it to the bone, and tried to win all season long. They are now in the 7 and 8 seats taking on each other, and the reward for one of them will be making the playoffs. The winner of tonight will become the 7th seed and take on the San Antonio Spurs in a best of 7, while the loser, well, again, they are not eliminated. They will wait around for the winner of the 9-10, and if this game features 2 overachievers, that 9-10 matchup tomorrow night features 2 of the most disappointing teams in the entire NBA this season. That would, of course, be the LA Clippers and the Golden State Warriors. Both teams who had substantial playoff aspirations preseason now find themselves slumming it out in the 9-10 game, an elimination game for one of those 2. And unfortunately for the 2 that are in action tonight, 2 teams that did it the right way, as I said, played hard all year and overachieved. In my estimation, the loser of tonight ultimately will get screwed in this whole thing. They will not make the playoffs at all because, in my estimation, the winner of the Clippers and Warriors will likely play their way in, winning 2 as well, and take out the loser of tonight's game. So just really an unfair setup for one of these 2 very deserving teams to be in the playoffs, far more deserving than the 2 in the 9-10 range. Specifically, if that team happens to be the Golden State Warriors, who are a disgusting 37-45, you know that of all of the teams in this thing, in the play-in tournament, the one that the league offices in the NBA are rooting for most to continue on is Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. So, Commissioner Silver will have his fingers crossed that Steph and company can't win their way in, win 2 games, and get into the playoffs with 37 wins to become the sacrificial lamb of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think I might like the Clippers in that game tomorrow, but more on that likely tomorrow. Let's just stay focused on these 2 games tonight. Those, of course, will be on at 7:30 and 10 o'clock this evening. Perhaps I might go on live afterwards to discuss them, break them down. If not, there will, of course, be a video that follows either late night or early tomorrow morning. Guys, as always, please do make sure that you are subscribed with notifications turned on to stay.
Rooms.
And then they have pictures on the wall of hot dogs and mustard. I go, you guys don't have any mustard? And they go, no, just ketchup. I go, well, there's pictures on the wall with hot dogs and mustard. And they were like, in other countries, and they're like, don't look at that picture.
Dude, there's some classic hot dog joints in Jersey.
I was like, what the fuck?
Ruts Hut, fucking High Rooms up in Fort Lee. If you go up the hill where I see you, you go up that hill. That's where they filmed that movie with Stallone.
Over the edge.
No. When he was the cop, when he was a retarded cop.
Oh, yeah. What's the name of it? Didn't he gain weight for that role?
Yes.
It was like mid-90s. I forget the name of the movie. But damn it. Where did Kevin go? Did he have to pee?
The kids are gonna get a hot dog.
I'll show restraint on my language while he's away, out of respect for MLC.
Can you do me a favor? Can you put shoes on, please?
Oh, I have my socks distracted?
No, but the socks ain't bad. It's the bare feet that really good.
Oh, no, I got socks on, but...
Yeah, today you do.
I'll keep them out of view. Oh, you mean you don't like me showing off my bare feet on my
Yeah, when you're playing a leg guitar, it really, you know. But listen, dude, I still like it.
Well, thank you. I'm happy it doesn't change your opinion of me all that much.
No,
the song
you're right, Doc. You're right.
Well, thank you. I think Kevin went to go to the bathroom, if I venture a guess. Where are you, Kevin?
What, you can't hang with me, Carl? Come on.
No, oh no, I was just kind of curious, because when he goes, it's like, I get curious, where did Kevin go type of mindset? I'm like, where did he run off to? And I'm just curious as all hell what he had to do, just out of sheer curiosity. I gotta go to the restroom as well. Wondering if I should dare run away, but I ain't gonna leave you hanging, Tim. I pissed my pants. Oh, forgive me.
I can't smoke cigarettes. I'm like you. My girlfriend gets mad when I smoke cigarettes.
Can't smoke it indoors. Yeah, that's... Yeah, it's... I'll be honest with you. I stopped smoking a lot based on doing that, so it's... I saved a lot of money, because I used to polish a pack once a day.
How much is a pack where you are?
It's about $13.
Yeah, same here, same here. East Coast, right?
Yeah, yes. And it's like, I used to be one show, one stream. I could smoke the whole damn thing in that one sitting, and it's like, ugh. I'm saying.
I hear you were still saying.
Barden.
My son, how might I help you?
Не знаешь, на кого ты врешь?
Знаю. Let's go to the vault.
Open it. За что ты маешь? Ты меня можешь заставить закрыть?
Да, могу. Good.
He will kill me.
Uh-huh. Ladies,
Бросит меня.
Honestly, what do you think you're going to do with all of that?
this.
Форму давай.
Don't worry. Housekeeping will find you.
Treat all your ladies like this?
You are no lady. Trust me.
Harry, is it? How would you like to earn more than just a gold coin?
You've broken the rules. You've done business on continental grounds. And management does not take kindly to that sort of behavior.
Management. Don't worry. Housekeeping will find you.
Ashes to ashes. Can we recover for this?
Nigga, you know what was in that vault, right?
It's not. I say this, John. The sure as broke the mold with you. Hey. You always had a certain, there's audacity about you, I can say you're still very much the John Wick of old. And why? People don't change. You know that. Times they do. Do you know what was in that vault? Artwork cash, not without its worth, but the leverage I had on this city. Audio recordings, physical evidence, blackmail was priceless. Priceless! Yeah, I kind of enjoyed that. Yeah, I know you did. Yeah. You did that. So, then you got married, huh? Settled down. How you managed that anyways? Luck, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, well, you had your wife, I had my son. And believe me, you had a far better deal. And then you left. And the way you got out, lying to yourself that the past held no sway over the future. But in the end, a lot of us are rewarded for our misdeeds, which is why God took your wife and unleashed you upon me. This life follows you. It clings to you. Infecting everyone comes close to you. We are cursed, you and I. We agree. Find a common ground. Okay. Step aside. Give me your son. John Wick. Baba Yaga was just a car, just a dog. Just a dog. Vigo. Yeah. When Ellen died, I lost everything. Until that dog arrived on my doorstep. A final gift from my wife. In that moment, I received some semblance of hope. An opportunity to grieve unalone. And your son took that from me. Stole that from me. Killed that from me. People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. So you can either hand over your son, or you can die screaming alongside him.
I went to Kanye West's recent tour, the Yeezus tour. It was a big, dramatic, theatrical show. He did something very strange at the end of his show where he ranted for like 20 minutes. It was kind of a rant, kind of a song. He had auto-tune on his voice, and there was an instrumental in the background. Like this instrumental. Talked about his problems. Race. Power. His $90 t-shirts weren't selling very well. That was most of it. When I watched this, I thought maybe I could do this. I'll be honest, my problems not as high stakes as Kanye's, but I had problems. And maybe a crowd in New York would be nice enough to indulge me. So as we get to the end of a night of theater, and comedy, and sweaters coming on and off, I got one question for you. And that question is, can I say my shit? New York, can I say my shit? I got lots of shit to say. I got lots of shit to say. I can't fit my hand inside a Pringle can. I have a huge amount of trouble fitting my hand inside of a Pringle can. I can get my hand like 4 inches into the can, but then I have to tilt the can into my mouth. But by that point, a bunch of crumbs have accumulated at the bottom of the can, so they all go spilling all of my face. What I'm trying to say is the diameter of Pringle cans is way too small. I'll say it again, the diameter of Pringle cans is way too small. 2 radiuses of a Pringle can is way too small. If you feel me, put your hands up. Come on. If you feel me, put your hands up. Look at all these hands that are way too big to fit inside a Pringle can. Your hands are too big to fit inside a Pringle cans. Your hands are too big to fit inside a Pringle can. You think you can? I know you can. You think you can? Pringles, listen to the people. I am sure 90% of the complaint letters you get are about the width of your cans. Just make them wider. I've overdone the Pringles thing. Sorry. I want to have a daughter. Want to have a daughter. So I can finally have someone around the house who can fit their hands in a Pringle can. Yes, I'm still on the Pringle cans thing. Yeah. I'll move on, all right? But that is priority numero uno. I don't go to the gym because I'm self-conscious about my body. But I'm self-conscious about my body because I don't go to the gym. Irony can be so painful. That's a catch-22. Let's do this. When it's Chipotle. When it's Chipotle. Got myself a shit.
Really, I took you yesterday. Come in any day, like Gilbert does. I had a hard time hearing you on the way out. You were tired and you could barely speak after your day.